Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Since Mason Jones decided to enter the NBA draft, many of you have called, texted, got at us on social media asking, what's Isaiah going to do? What's Isaiah going to do? What's Isaiah going to do? Well, we finally got that news yesterday via Eric Musselman in a teleconference saying that Isaiah Joe has entered his paperwork for the NBA draft, but, there's a key but in there, he will not hire an agent. Eric Musselman was very deliberate, very emphatic about that he and his family will not hire an agent. His family is going to go through the process, see how everything turns out, and then they will make a decision based on the information at hand. So the biggest news of the day, if you heard it yesterday, whether it's on Ruskin and Zach, if you saw it on hitthatline.com or any of our social media pages, Isaiah Joe has entered his paperwork for the NBA draft, but is yet to sign with an agent. This is The Morning Rush. He's Tommy Kraft. I'm Ty Richardson. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text in. We are always streaming live on hitthatline.com. You can find us on the TuneIn app. If you have a smart speaker, just say play ESPN Arkansas. And you can also find us video-wise, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So, Tommy, we were in a meeting yesterday when all this came out. Your initial thoughts when you heard Isaiah Joe was headed off to the NBA draft. And again, paperwork has been filled out, yet to sign with an agent. I cannot stress that enough.
And how is that really any different at this point than what Mason Jones is doing? Because Mason Jones, to our knowledge, as of our conversation with him, and nothing's changed publicly since, same deal. When you were in college, both you guys, if the professor leading the class offered you a practice test before the final or before a big exam, did you take it?
100%.
Every time.
Why did you take the practice test?
Because it was oftentimes very similar to the actual test.
Isn't this kind of like a practice test that Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones just take? It's a practice test.
100%.
Doesn't count. I mean, and maybe if you do well enough on it, it'll lead to a better grade on the real exam. That's kind of what this is like. It's like a practice test, particularly for Isaiah Joe, who I think we all believe will ultimately make a decision to return for another year. But why wouldn't you go get the
I don't know.
answer?
Don't put me in that camp.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm in that camp.
I'm in that camp.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you at least at a minimum, go get the information?
I think
it's like a practice test in school.
The only way you'd lose, and it's weird because of what's going on with the coronavirus right now. There's no individual workouts. A lot of stuff is happening remotely. There's not as much attention in terms of in-person attention. So I'm curious to see how that pays off for Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones. It could help. It could hurt. I don't know from a conditioning standpoint if they're the same of what they've been doing if they were just in a gym and in normal practice stuff, or if it's slacked off. And it wouldn't just be for Mason and Isaiah, but it's very hard to be diligent enough to do your workout without someone paying attention to you. Now, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I saw Isaiah go through some drills with his little brothers and his parents, so I'm assuming that his dad probably has a pretty big hand in his workouts and his shooting and making sure that Isaiah stays in tip-top shape. And Mason, we had him on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about how he's doing push-ups, sit-ups, and trying to keep in shape around the house. But this is just a different time period than no athlete has ever experienced before. So it's really about self-control and discipline, and you really find out with some of these players who has it more than others, and that's very important for the potential draft odds for Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones. But like you said, this timeline's going to be interesting to see when they make a decision. And I think we're all under the impression, I'll fall in this camp. I'm not necessarily under the camp of Isaiah Joe coming back, but I think we're all under the impression that Mason Jones is out the door, that he is either He's either secretly signed with an agent or he's going to sign with an agent. Isaiah, it's a little more up and down. You're not as sure as much. You seem to be under the impression that he's going to come back for another season. I could see that, but I don't want to come out and say I think that's going to happen because when I keep seeing these draft boards, it's such a wide variety. Some draft boards he's listed off. Some he's as high as 30 overall. It's weird to see how up and down it is and how sporadic where his mock draft name pops up on these draft boards.
And that opinion may change as they get more information and if we learn about that information. Muss yesterday, just listening to that teleconference, didn't give details about what the NBA had said, but he did make a point to lead the conversation yesterday, which the press conference or the teleconference, it's all on phone conference now, was called so that he could recap the class again because you'd had other players sign. But that's not where he wanted to start the news. He started with the headline, and that's Isaiah Joe. So
Dudley asked one question, and he's like, hey, Kyle, can I make an announcement? Here's what it was.
So I just wanted everybody to know that Isaiah Joe has submitted his paperwork for the NBA draft. He will not hire an agent. He'll keep the door open for a possible return to college. Isaiah and his family, they want to gather as much feedback as they possibly can. They want to learn through this process, make a decision whenever that time comes, whether to keep his name in the draft or to come back to the University of Arkansas. That paperwork was submitted today. We had a Zoom call today with our current team, and Isaiah was on it, and he'll remain part of everything that we do going forward. He'll just kind of have a dual role in pursuing that goal as well as doing anything that we do as a program as well.
And to go off that point that Eric Musselman just made, later in the press conference, Tommy, he said they're going to recruit as if Isaiah was still here. So they're not acting like they have an open scholarship.
And that's
they're going to take it as that.
And that's why I am of the opinion he's coming back based on the way the coach is approaching it. He knows something we don't know in his conversations with Isaiah's family, and he knows the information the NBA has given him at this point. That's what led me to believe, and I should not have presumed you believe the same thing based on that he will probably come back based on just the way Musselman publicly framed it, positioned himself, positioning the program, however you want to look at that, tells me he thinks that the odds are high that he does return.
I just don't want us both on this show to think he's going to come back because you always here's the thing. You always bet against Arkansas if you're going to put money on a game because you win either way. You either win money or they win the football game or the basketball game. That's what you always do. And the feedback that you're referring to, where Eric Musselman's probably talked to him about that, he also spoke to that as well.
He's got good feedback. We've put together a little book for Isaiah, and so he can also share it with his family. And I'm on the phone a lot with his father, Derek, and, we communicate, more than a few times during the week. And we'll just continue to try to gather information. And, he has received his feedback back from the undergraduate committee. A lot of those conversations, obviously, will remain private, but he has gotten, good feedback and people recognize what a great player he is.
Mr. Derek works about 200 yards this way. You want to go walk over there after the show and see?
I think it's a little further than that.
Just a little bit. It's not. It's maybe a quarter of a mile. But you want to go ask him after the show?
He's at Ark Best, right? Mm-hmm. It's a little further than that.
So it's right there. But
it's about a couple-minute drive, though. You're right.
Yeah, but it's going to be very interesting, the timeline on this.
No, I'm not interested in walking that.
No, you don't want to walk? You can
I need the walk, though. I need the walk.
Yeah, what happened? You talking about you've eaten too much?
I actually went on a walk last night, yes.
Here, listen, let's give Tommy Kraft it.
It was a short walk, but it was a walk.
It was a walk nevertheless. So a big thing. I think Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones, what they've been doing lately is just a little higher in intensity than just a walk every once in a while. Just a little bit.
You hope all these guys have. Yeah. You hope as you were talking about earlier in the segment, setting things up, the self-discipline, the self-accountability, all of these things, you're going to find out. Coaches are going to find out right now who's got it and who doesn't.
I did not work out yesterday, so I would not fall into that category. 877-377-6963. Got a lot more Eric Musselman audio coming up in the program. We'll get some quick hitting headlines. Dusty Hannis will join us at 8 o'clock this morning, as well as Tom Murphy at 7:15. All that coming up on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to WaveRuralConnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
0% for 84 months and no payments for 120 days at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. During these unprecedented times, Harry Robinson is making it easier for you to buy. Get 0% for 84 months and deferred payments on all 2019 Buick and GMC models and 2020 Buick Encores and Visions, GMC Acadias, Terrains, and Sierras. Find out more at harryrobinson.com. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Bush Machine and Tractor at 7301 0 Street in Fort Smith is your one-stop shop for tractors, lawnmowers, and implements. Choose from Massey Ferguson, Branson, and TYM tractors. Implements from Woods, Battle Armor, and Modern Ag. Find a Gravely commercial mower and get the job done mile after mile and season after season. Bush Machine and Tractor is your #1 Branson dealer in Arkansas and works on all brands of tractors and mowers. Come see us or check out all our inventory at bushtractor.com.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
B&J Comfort Solutions provides home comfort and energy solutions to the River Valley, specializing in residential sales, service, and installation, offering only the absolute best customer service around. Call them for any of your service, maintenance, or replacement needs. B&J Comfort Solutions offer an industry-leading 5-year labor warranty on all new system installations. Veteran-owned and operated, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Contact B&J Comfort Solutions today at 479-646-0284.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, I'm not a doctor, but I swear this youngster's inebriated.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Subscribe to the Morning Rush Podcast wherever podcasts are found.
Quick hitting headlines for you on the Morning Rush. KK Robinson signed his national letter of intent with the Arkansas Razorbacks a little before 2 o'clock yesterday. And we'll get into some audio from Eric Musselman coming up on both him and Moses Moody, how he felt like there was never a doubt they were going to do it. And I need to make a public service announcement to everyone out there on social media. Do not pace Justice Hill. Do not criticize Justice. Do not... I mean, I know he made a mistake and he was wrong and all 4 commits signed, but his mentions were inflamed yesterday.
Now, Ruskin says he owes him $500.
He doesn't owe Ruskin $500. But, I mean, again,
when there are $500 these guys don't sign? Yeah, well.
It's a college kid. He made a mistake. Give him a break.
Someone told him something that didn't turn out to be true.
Didn't turn out to be true.
I don't think he just made that up. Someone gave him some details, and, you know, he shared them.
I get told a lot of different things via text, via messages. That doesn't mean they're true. So this is a great example for Justice Hill moving forward. Just because it tells you something. What's the rule about sources? Now, you and I don't exactly, we're not the ones that are journalists digging for information 24/7 to tell y'all. We more react than we do let you guys know. But the rule on sources is you get 2 to 3 rock solid. So you never just
you run with the first thing you hear.
Yeah,
the first thing text to you just run with it. No matter how wild it is.
No, you can't. Put
it on the air.
Where's the
Wrong.
No.
That's what Clay Henry taught me.
That's
the first thing you hear, no matter how unreliable it may be, run with it. Run.
When you think about his late father, Orville, one of his things, I mean, when he wrote something outside of the one coaching when Tuberville, that's like the one story that I heard about that he was wrong. Everything else sourced, he was correct.
But I think when he got the information, it was right. The information changed. You know, that's the thing about a newspaper. That's why they're going out of business. Once they're printed, they're behind schedule. So
it's a difficult thing to.
Information's old when the ink dries.
Yeah, it difficult to. But that's like the one story that I remembered. I didn't consider that wasn't my time period. I wasn't really alive when he was the head of Arkansas sports media. But why he was so revered back in the day is because when he wrote something, it was basically rock solid
gospel.
Gold. Yeah. So just something to think about moving forward, Justice. I know you're probably listening intently right now to this program. Just something to think about. Trey Norwood's little brother, Drayden Norwood, 4-star cornerback out of Fort Smith Northside, has put Arkansas in his top 5, along with Missouri, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Oklahoma.
They can't screw this up twice, can they?
Oh, my goodness. Trey Norwood is apparently too small to play for Brett Bielema, and he's playing for a college football powerhouse in Oklahoma. And I know Oklahoma's defense isn't exactly the most juggernaut when it comes to defenses in college football.
That's that conference.
But it's still the Oklahoma Sooners, which is a much better program than the Arkansas Razorbacks.
At a minimum, Ty, it's a bad look that Trey is there. It's just a bad look that you got a kid in your state you did not recruit that's playing at a Power 5 school that's, going to the college football playoff.
Consistent.
The optics are horrible on it.
Exactly right. This is according to Gabe Brooks of 24/7 Sports. He says he's a Power 5 caliber defensive back prospect who could bring ball skills and athleticism to the secondary. So like you said, Tommy, hopefully they don't miss on 2 Norwood kids. I think Sam Pittman and Sam Carter's the DB's coach. I think they'll probably spend some time actually recruiting and not just overlook a kid just because he's a little smaller than the average cornerback in the SEC. The Last Dance averaged 6.1 million viewers, the most viewed ESPN documentary ever. Did you get a chance to watch episode 2 yesterday?
I did. I watched the end of 1 again because I realized after watching about the last 15 minutes that I missed some things.
Okay.
And my eyelids may have gotten shut in the last few minutes of episode. So I rewatched about the last 20 minutes of part 1, and then I watched all of part 2, and then I watched the Seinfeld episode, went to sleep.
There you go.
Well, so, no, it was very good. Part 2, obviously, more about Scottie Pippen. There's a few shots of Hamburg and about his family.
A lot of UCA highlights I'd never seen before.
Yeah, I've been in the Ferris Center. It's changed a lot since he played there. And the old legend was told about how he came to college 6'2" or whatever, and 6'1", 6'2", and then grew 5 inches between freshman and sophomore year. Started at UCA as a equipment manager. Guys became academically ineligible, and the next thing you knew, some scholarships were open. He was a practice player, and he became at one time the second best player in the NBA after not even being able to initially make the team at the University of Central Arkansas, which at that time was in the old AIC, which is NAIA. I mean, UCA today is a Division I program, plays in the Southland. It was a much different deal. It was playing with all the other small colleges like Arkansas Tech and Henderson and Harding and all these, the collection of schools that are mainly in the Great American Conference now. We're in that Arkansas conference together. So it wasn't even on the level that UCA's at now.
And they plucked him out, the Seattle Super. How dumb do you have to feel if you're the Seattle Supersonics at the time and you end up trading?
Obviously that was just listening to that, and I didn't remember this part of the story, but that was contrived or put together by Jerry Krause. Hey, you take him, then we'll trade for him. I'm not sure if Seattle actually wanted him or not, but I guess I'd forgotten or didn't that he was drafted. I knew he was drafted first round. I didn't realize he was 5th overall. So,
yeah, he was a pretty incredible basketball player to watch back in the day. I know that Michael Jordan has said time and time again he would not be where he be without Scottie Pippen. It's really funny to watch these people, and again, though I am a millennial and Tommy loves to give me grief for that, I fall into the Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time camp. Read multiple books.
Wise man. Wise young man.
Watch multiple documentaries. This is just another element to add to the arsenal when it comes to comparing him to LeBron James, because there's really only one argument. You could say Bill Russell's the greatest winner of all time when you win 11 championships in 13 years, but there's only one debate for who's the greatest player of all time. It's Michael Jordan and it's LeBron James. I think this is helping Michael's legacy when it comes to that argument rather than hurting it. And as we continue in this documentary, I think it's only going to help more.
Episode 3 and 4 next Sunday. 3 is on Rodman, or one of these are on Rodman at least. That ought to be fun.
Should be very interesting.
So,
I still haven't seen that 30 for 30 on Rodman. There's a couple 30 for 30s I need to watch.
Episode 2 had some sit-downs with Joe Klein, who was on the show with us yesterday, and we talked to him about it. If you missed that, you can go get it out of our archives at hitthatline.com. But it was good to see Big Joe in there some more in Episode 2. And he's in the background of some of this behind-the-scenes shots. So we talked to him about that yesterday. If you missed any of that, that was a lot of fun talking to Joe Klein.
I had multiple people text me yesterday that they really enjoyed that interview. And like Tommy said, if you didn't get a chance to listen to it, its entirety you can find out at hitthatline.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. My brother actually not caddied, but the lesser version of caddied when you work at a country club, whatever it's called.
Well, there's a caddy, which actually loops the bag, carries the bag for you for 18 holes, and then there's the 4 caddy, which goes out and spots the ball, stays down the fairway and finds your ball for you.
I think he was just like a golf, not maintenance guy, but he just like got the bags and stuff. Very simple. And
bag boy.
Bag boy. That's the best way to describe it. And he said Joe was always really cool whenever he came in, and he would always talk to him and stuff, which I've heard nothing about good things when it comes to Joe Klein.
I've been around Joe just a little bit in the basketball and officiating world because he's been an assistant coach on some teams. He's coached some summer teams I've been around, and always been a class act.
Dusty Hannah's set to join us at 8 a.m. this morning. Going to talk to another former Razorback. Also going to talk to Tom Murphy in his usual slot at 7:15. But coming up, we'll get in some more Eric Musselman audio. He spoke to the media yesterday. That's next on The Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
With everything going on, Mother's Day may not be top of mind for many of us, but now, more than ever, reaching out to a special mom in your life can make all the difference to her. And you can trust 1-800-Flowers to help make it special. Right now, 1-800-Flowers. You can get 3 dozen sorbet roses for only $39.99. It's a great way to make every mom feel loved when it matters most. With an impressive mix of pastel shades in pink, orange, and lavender, these roses are guaranteed to show mom how much she's loved. 1-800-Flowers is committed to safety of their team and your family, so they are offering contactless delivery. Picking an early delivery date ensures that your bouquet will arrive in time to make Mom's Day special. Don't put this off. Order today. From the official florist of Mother's Day, 1-800-Flowers.com, to order 3 dozen sorbet roses for $39.99. Simple. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, enter code Dan. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, code Dan. Hurry. This offer ends Friday.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get back out on the road. Time for winters rolled down and radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. They also offer oil changes, tire alignments, and much more. Trust Southern Tire Mart for your last-minute getaways, open-road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you're free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. They'll keep you rolling.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. To go, curbside pickup, or delivery for all your Fridays favorites. See the full menu of appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays signature entrees, kids meals, and of course, dessert online at Fridays.com. Also check out Fridays Butcher Shop. Premium meats ready for you to cook at home. Call TGI Fridays to place your order. 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Spring is in the air, and crappie fishing is firing up. Jelco Outdoors has all your crappie fishing gear by Beaver Bottom Baits, Timmy Tom's, K9 Fishing, Bobby Garland, and Bonehead Baits. New crappie rods by Todd Huckabee and Ascension, plus all your fishing needs. This spring, think Jelco Outdoors for all your fishing gear. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Spring is here and the deals are hot at Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard. New inventory is arriving daily with a great selection to choose from like GM, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, and many more. You will find your experience to be easy and affordable as the staff at Hertz finds the perfect car, SUV, or truck that you were looking for. And remember, trade-ins are always welcome. Make the short drive to Hertz Car Sales and find there's no better way to buy your next vehicle. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales, when you're ready.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Well, let's get those nerds! 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 What are we waiting for?
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
There might be an interesting attendee that KK Robinson knows that we'll tell you about in just a sec. Before we do that, I want to tell you about BetUS Racing.
Yeah, you can get a $500 welcome bonus when you sign up now. Go to betusracing.com/Morning Rush. You can sign up right now at BetUS Racing Sportsbook, blackjack, roulette. In fact, over 200 casino games online for you to have fun with, and over 200 racetracks around the country. So you can bet the ponies right now. Oaklawn's got a couple of weeks left in their season. BetUS Racing can help you get in on the action. And right now, a $500 welcome bonus when you sign up at betusracing.com. That's betusracing.com/Morning Rush for your $500 welcome bonus from betusracing.com.
So Eric Musselman and Mrs. Danielle Musselman went on Instagram Live and talked with both Jalen Williams and KK Robinson. If you hadn't gotten a chance to watch or listen to those interviews, we have them for you on hitthatline.com as well as our YouTube page. And one of the interesting things that came out of the interview talking with KK Robinson is who KK knows. Very interesting.
I have a funny story. It just kind of crossed my mind. Eric and I went to a concert. I don't even know how long ago it was, maybe 6 months ago. Yeah. It was TLC, Flo Rida, and Nelly. And afterward, we were taking a picture with Nelly, and he was talking about KK.
He was going to help us with the recruiting. We got a picture with him and gave him an Arkansas Razorback jersey. And all of a sudden, he started talking about you, KK.
So tell us about that relationship.
Yeah, he's like family. My auntie is actually married to Ali Jones, and he's a part of the St. Lunatic. So we've always had that relationship with Nelly and all those.
Do you know a Nelly song?
I don't. I probably heard a Nelly song. To say I know it would be a stretch. But Nelly's one of those guys that I think even old white guys like me know who he is.
Jenkins, what's your favorite Nelly song?
Ooh, man. EI and probably is it Ride With Me?
I'm
clearly
asking you.
Know.
Oh, you know even
as
Nelly
well
fan?
as I do.
No, I enjoy EI's probably my favorite one.
Okay, yeah, right.
That one when I had my subs in my truck when I was in high school, that one hit big time for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Amarillo by Morning. So
that's fair enough. He is.
He actually, you bring up country song. He did do a remix of Thomas Rhett's "Die Happy Man."
He did.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty good.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so we might have some. I know a lot of our listeners are big time Nelly fans on this program. We might play some.
I'm
actually,
sure Gary in Arkadelphia's got that one.
He's got it all queued up. We're gonna have BJ Young on tomorrow at 7:15. BJ, like Nelly, is from St. Louis, so we might ask BJ kind of about that. But it was very interesting to hear that. I was cracking up yesterday because I remember the picture that Eric Musselman and Danielle took with Nelly in the Arkansas, but I didn't know the context of this story. So that's a really cool connection. And I think Arkansas, I mean, you think about the recruiting side of things, it's kind of a big deal if Nelly showing up to one of your basketball games, like especially with, I mean, I know when I was back in high school and stuff, and as a lot of these recruits are, that would have been a big deal, huge deal.
Walk me through that because I didn't understand all the connections he was laying out because I lack the knowledge. His aunt is married to someone that
is in Nelly's family, if I remember that correctly. That's what I understood of it. Right. They didn't go into this massive amount of details about that. It was very short and sweet, but interesting nevertheless that KK has a connection to Nelly, and I think Eric Musselman will find a way to somehow to get him to a game or two this year, especially a marquee game, which I know a lot of Arkansas fans will be hyped up for. And if Nelly's in attendance, maybe he can help out DJ Derek with the pregame intro and the pregame music.
I don't know how many fans will be hyped up, knowing the demographics, but the student section will definitely be hyped up.
But the age group between me and Ty and lower is going to be loving it.
It will be absolutely rocking.
Yeah.
He did touch on some other stuff, and he dove in also not only to KK's connection, but what he brings to the floor. Eric Musselman touched on that.
Yeah, I mean, KK, one, he's a great competitor, very serious-minded about the game, really good speed with the basketball, really unselfish. I mean, when I watched him at Oak Hill, he played with some guys that really score the ball, and he was perfectly content to make his teammates better, to share the ball. He's got great court vision. He's really good in transition. You know, he's a point guard that's a facilitator. And then defensively, he can put great pressure on the ball. He can pick up in the backcourt and turn ball handlers. So, you know, I think that he's a guy that he's really good at advanced passes. I think that's the one thing when different staff members went to watch him practice in Oak Hill was his ability to lead transition points both off the bounce and off advanced passes.
Like Moses Moody, KK Robinson played on a highly touted prep league school at Oak Hill Academy, which there's a lot of studs that have come out of there. And he could have, like Moses, gone into the me mode. I'm going to score this. I'm going to take 30 shots a game, whatever. But his unselfishness is going to be crucial for this basketball team. He showed it in high school, and I think he's going to show it at the next level. Well, he's got a lefty. He's got a real pure stroke. A lot of people think he has a shot like Anton Beard or Desi. Gets after you on the defensive end, has the court vision like you heard Eric Musselman talked about. You just, whether you watch these kids' highlights on YouTube, and a lot of them played with each other and growing up. KK and Moses used to play on the same team. They've also played against Jalen and Devontae, the incoming freshman. It's just going to be so exciting to watch them play as a team next year. And I asked Eric Musselman yesterday, one of the questions I asked on the teleconference, Coach, would you be okay with playing 4 freshmen at once? And the response he gave is basically, I'm going to play the best 4, but like the best guys on the floor now. There's 5 players on the court. You only have 4 freshmen that are coming in this incoming recruiting class. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility that you'd see all 4 at once. Do I think it's going to happen? I think it's going to be pretty seldom if it does. That doesn't mean it can't. And I think Arkansas fans would go ballistic if they saw 4 of their guys, specifically in-state guys, on the floor at the same time.
Let me bring up something here about in-state guys, because we're seeing a little bit of a trend. I want to know your opinion on whether or not this continues. KK's from Bryant, but went to Oak Hill, went out to Virginia to play at Oak Hill. And we know Moses Moody from Little Rock, so both from the same area. And he went to Florida to Monteverde. 2 of the best in-state prospects in this class. Is that going to be the trend where 2 or 3 of your best players leave the state to go play at, they're not prep schools technically, but one of these academies to prepare their last year or maybe 2 of high school basketball rather than play here in Arkansas? We saw 2 guys do it this year. Do you think that's going to be something that continues?
It's a great question. Darian Ford, Nick Smith, Khalil Ware out of North Little Rock, Joseph Pinion, and this I got to remember that kid's name from Mills. But those are the 5 guys that are going to be highly coveted in the 2022 class. Jalen Ricks is from Sylvan Hills. He is now at Oak Hill Academy. So you have 1 in that class. Okay. Maybe he's 2021. I actually think he's 2021, not 2022. But I think what's going to happen, what these players are going to look at is if Moses and KK are successful at Arkansas, or if you have other guys in the future that are successful at the next level, why wouldn't you? Yeah. If you get the chance, if you get the opportunity to play at a higher level. Now, if you remember, Connor Vanover is also one of those. Played at Baptist Prep, then went to Findlay Prep, then ended up at Cal and now at Arkansas. There's been a couple
Findlay
of
Prep is a true prep school, but he graduated high school at Arkansas Baptist, right?
I think that's correct.
And then went to Findlay Prep, then on.
So with Reggie Chaney was there as well.
Stepping stone in between.
It's
these guys
different.
are not going to Bryan High School or Jackson. They're changing high schools and leaving the state to go elsewhere.
It would be like going to IMG Academy or Montverde, or you heard Oak Hill. There's other schools out there that are pretty prominent or just really highly coveted schools. That's you're basically going there to have a career in basketball, football, whatever the case may be. I think it's going to be contingent. The question you asked again was, will we see more Arkansas players do it? There's a lot of in-state talent in this state. So if there's success from Moses and KK's perspective and they have really success at the high level, I think if you're Darian Ford, I think if you're Nick Smith and some of the other guys, you got to at least look at the potential of, hey, well, I love Magnolia. I like Sylvan Hills. I like some of the other schools that these kids are at. What's best for my future? And that might be painful, leaving your friends, leaving your family, going somewhere that's unknown to you. But if you truly want to play D1 college basketball and be the best player you can be, or have aspirations to play even at the next level with the NBA, then you got to think about what's best for you, and potentially that could be best.
Yeah,
for you.
what maximizes your potential? How do you get to your ceiling faster? And maybe that's it. I think it depends on a couple of things. I don't know how the finances on this thing works. Is it a scholarship? Do your parents have to have the means to pay for it? I don't know enough about these academies that replace your high school and how that works. Some families probably wish it wouldn't be an option based on the financial requirements to attend that. But let's just say finances, or someone gives you a scholarship. Mom and dad still have to have their job. There's probably siblings involved in many cases. It's not just, hey, I want to go be the best basketball player. I'm going to move to Florida. I'm going to move to Virginia. I'm going to move wherever. This is a family decision because these are 16, 17-year-old kids. They're not generally equipped to move off and be on their own. So there's a lot of things to consider besides just where my best basketball options are. I think the other option is, how good's the high school basketball program where you're at? How good's that coach? How much can they maximize your potential? And then I think also another factor in all this is who you play with in the summer. What have some of those other kids done? How much coaching are you getting in the summer? So I think there's a lot of things that have to go into that consideration. I just think it's interesting that 2 players from Arkansas went out of state to finish their high school, and now they find themselves back at Arkansas to play college basketball.
So you mentioned the AAU sides of things. Moses Moody played for Bradley Beal Elite, which is based out of Florida, a guy that went to Florida. Actually, I say that. He went to Florida, but he's from St. Louis. It actually might be based out of St. Louis, but there is that Florida connection. I don't remember 100% which AAU team KK Robinson played for. Jay Williams, Chris Moore, Devontae Davis, they all play for the Woods Elite here in Arkansas, but there's always that, as you mentioned, the AAU connections are also big to translate to what high school you're going to end at. And again, I think it's going to come back to what type of success do you see Jalen Ricks, Moses Moody, KK Robinson, and others at the more prep school type level, which is what a lot of these are, and see how they translate to college basketball. Because if they're not successful, I would be a little more skeptical if I'm Darian Ford, Nick Smith, and some of these other kids that are coming up in the process. Because the other thing, some kids just want to stay home, which is absolutely fine. If you want to play for your high school your entire life, if you want to play for your hometown your entire life, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of Arkansans, I mean, they like that. They want to see they're so excited to see KK Robinson and Moses Moody in Arkansas uniform. But you think about KK's path. KK went from Episcopal, won a state championship as a freshman, state championship at Bryan as well, and then ended up at Oak Hill. Moses, I think, went to Parkview his freshman year, then won a state championship eventually at North Little Rock, and then in and out at Montford. So these guys have gone through the process. They've tried to win. Some have won state championships and then moved on. It's just going to be a very curious thing, and it's something to keep an eye on, just how it affects college basketball if you have more kids going to these prep-like schools. And I say prep-like schools, not the passover from high school to college like we referred to earlier, but it's basically what it is. It's a preparatory school, not in the sense of academics, but in the sense of sports.
No, and I don't think he would ever, nor should he, answer this question publicly because he doesn't want to alienate high school coaches. But I would be interested to know, what's your prayer? You got a 4-star, 5-star guy in state. Eric Musselman, which way would you prefer they go? Go to one of these academies or stay at the high school? And I guess that depends on which high school they're at and how equipped they are. He can't answer that because you don't want to make the high school coaches in the state mad. Or maybe he feels like, it's 50-50 whether these academies are really worth it. But I wonder. I guess we'll find out to some degree is what kind of head start do these guys maybe have versus the other players in their class.
Well, you think about the talent, Moses Moody. Jenkins, you mentioned this yesterday. I heard you and Phil talking about it. Cade Cunningham's going to Oklahoma State. You got one of their players going to Michigan. I mean, the starting 5 listed with Montverde Academy, it's talent, and they have guys who are bench players. They come off the bench, they're talent, and that doesn't always mean that that's going to help you at the college level. But when you consistently play with better play with better players, and you play against better players, typically that helps you out.
It's true in any sport.
Yeah,
if you play with better golfers, if you get a better group in your foursome for the weekend, you do that enough, you're going to be a better golfer.
So you got it pulled up. Who are some of the guys that he's played with?
So Cade Cunningham, he is a 6'6", 215-pound, looks like a guard, a center, like almost a point forward going to Oklahoma State. He's a 5-star and overall number 1, I believe. Scotty Barnes, he's a small forward, 6'8", going to Florida State. Dayron Sharp, a 6'10" center going to North Carolina. and obviously Moses Moody. And then the other one is Zeb Jackson, a shooting guard going to Michigan.
So they're loaded. And the reason I bring that
all
up.
Power 5 schools, Florida State,
and
North
the whole
Carolina,
starting lineup
Arkansas.
is in the top 10.
Which is pretty incredible to think about that, how talented that team was. And Moses was kind of the guy. I mean, he was unselfish, as you heard from Eric Musselman. I talked to Kevin McPherson off air about this, and that's important because egos are pretty prevalent when it comes to playing with AU basketball and talent. And that just happens. Like when you're playing with a bunch of good people, you have an ego. That's fine. You just can't let that affect you at the college level, especially when you're not going to be as integral of a piece a lot of times when you're a freshman.
You know, and I bet there's something similar in the academic world for, if a kid shows an aspiration for math or science or, there's academies and places, I'm sure, in other walks of life, besides we just focus on sports, that you can go and specialize. Why are these guys going to places like this? To specialize in basketball, because they have a specialized talent. And it's pretty cool to think you can go somewhere and, even it may be mythical to a degree, but win a national championship in high school. How many schools in Arkansas, particularly in boys basketball, are going to offer you that opportunity? Might be a few more in girls basketball, actually, that are equipped to do that ahead of some of the boys programs in our state, just based on, you look at Fort Smith Northside and their tradition. I mean, they didn't get to state championship this year, but they got a long-standing great tradition in girls basketball, and there's others in the state. So, I mean, that is maybe one of your aspirations. But I think Jenkins just laid it out there. But you can go play with 4 other guys in the starting lineup that are all going to sign Power 5 school scholarships. They're all you said all in the top 10 in ESPN's?
Yep. Lowest one was 9th.
Why would you not go do that?
Well,
you just can't do that at any high school in Arkansas.
Well, we mentioned it too, that talking about had a Moses Moody played at Jacksonville or like at BB or something like that, he's going to be the face and he's going to be where the whole team is built around. But he's going to coming from a position where you had 5 guys in the top 10. Yeah. You're playing to a role rather than trying to be the best player on the team. So that even more prepares him to come to Arkansas, because he's going to be in a role for his freshman year. Maybe once he gets to his sophomore and junior season, then the team's more built around him. But specifically right now, he's better trained to be in this role position, because that's what you do when you're there.
I think we can name off some of the legendary high school football coaches in this state relatively easy. Barry Lunny Sr.,
Rick Jones,
Kevin Culley, Rick Jones. Those are the 3 that initially come to mind for me.
That are modern era. Yeah, I mean, like Frank McClellan passed away this week at Barton. He won 11 state titles or something like that. I mean, it depends on what era you're talking about.
I don't know if Daryl Patton's in that category yet. He's probably second tier with what he was able to do. But the reason
of all the ones in the last 20, 25 years, you got it.
But the reason I bring that up is, and maybe
Wilson Matthews would be the original great one because of all he did at Little Rock Central that led him to Arkansas.
The reason I bring that up is because I didn't follow high school basketball as closely when I was younger and stuff, but I don't necessarily they don't pop into my head immediately when I think high school basketball in this state, which is, I mean, you've had great high school basketball talent, but when you think of coaching, not to say there isn't great coaching in this state, but they don't pop up to me.
I get you.
So that's just something to think about if you're an Arkansas basketball fan, when these kids are thinking about going somewhere else to play.
Charles Ripley at Little Rock Parkview for years had just a tremendous program. One that comes to mind for me. Gail Condart at Fort Smith Northside coached Ron Brewer Sr. and a lot of other great players in the 50s, 60s, 70s before he went on to West Ark and coached and got the 81 national championship there. Those are some guys that you go kind of old school, but Rip had maybe the best. Well, I don't think it was. I don't think there's any question. Little Rock Parkview was the best high school basketball program for most consistent program for a number of years at Little Rock Parkview. So Rip's
Who's
one of those
Hall's
guys that come
coach?
along.
You know, off the top of your head, because they've had some great talents come through the program. So that's just something.
Know him of a seam.
What's up?
I can picture him, but
you just don't know his name. That's fair. One of the things that a lot of you were concerned and worried about was the eventual signing of Moses Moody and KK Robinson, because they didn't sign on National Signing Day like Jalen Williams did. Devontae Davis had signed in the previous signing day, so a lot of you were like, what's going on? What's going to happen? Are these guys weighing with their commitments? Eric Musselman touched on that, and the guys staying true to their commitments.
That's what you want in your program, and obviously KK and his family are very, very close. And, look, he made a commitment, a long time ago to us, and so whether we got the paperwork back on the first day or today was we understood, both he and Moses, that they were fully committed, and it was just a matter of when the paperwork came in, not if it would come in. And the commitment from all these guys, like they've wanted to be here, and that's probably, the coolest thing of all this is just, we never worried about these guys joining us. We felt like they've been all in from the time they made the verbal commitment.
Another aspect of what Eric Musselman was talking about is he mentioned that these players kind of recruited themselves. Now, they've known each other for quite some time. They've either played with each other or played against each other. And he also said not only did the guys commit, the families committed as well. If you get on social media, you'll see that a lot of, whether it's KK's parents, whether it's Moses' parents, Jalen's parents, or Devontae's parents, they're active on social media as well. Really excited for Eric Musselman and the future of this basketball program, and they've stayed together in kind of a cohesive unit, which I think is important for this recruiting class because you want the parents to be in sync, you want the players to be in sync, and you want the coaching staff to be in sync as well.
Yeah, and to a degree, it opens up the lines of communication. If a parent's posting something that concerns you on Facebook, you know they have a concern.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the past, maybe they didn't have that outlet and they got problems that they're kind of holding in. Now at least you can know there's an issue you might need to address.
When's the last time parents have had an impact on the Arkansas football program in a like a very negative way?
06 comes to mind.
Ding, 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 ding. Correct.
Think if they had social media then.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Good pick.
That's right, Tommy. Ding, ding, ding. So
Yeah.
don't get on this radio station and tell me that parents can't have an impact
Oh, yeah.
on what happens with a
Absolutely.
program in Arkansas.
Absolutely. 78 degrees yesterday?
Pretty
Great
nice
afternoon.
outside.
You know
Yeah.
what happens when it gets to be in the upper 70s, low 80s? The grass starts growing. And if you don't want to mow that grass, you need to call the grounds guys. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, everywhere to help you take care of your yard. Spring is here and summer's coming, and your yard at your home or business is the first impression you make. If you don't have time to mow it, or you're like me, I don't want to mow it, you need to call the grounds guys. They got over 50 years of experience, licensed crew with a passion to make your yard beautiful. From spring cleanup to get all the sticks, the leaves, everything that's left in the yard from winter. Weed control, they'll do all the spraying, all the fertilizing to make your yard look beautiful. Mow, trim, they even power wash if you need that. They got different maintenance plans available to fit your budget and your needs. And if you call now and tell them you heard about it on the Ty Richardson Radio Network, they will give you $100 off your annual maintenance plan. That's $100 off right now when you call the grounds guys. 479-303-4897. That's 303-GUYS. 479-303-GUYS, 303-4897 for the grounds guys.
Maybe I'll have the cloud of Rush Limbaugh someday, but I think it's a little disturbing when you say the Ty Richardson Radio Network to this point because a lot
the
of people's-
aluminum microphone of the EIB. Oh, no, wait. That's the golden microphone.
Is that what he says?
We got aluminum microphone.
The golden. How does he sign off? How does he do it? I don't know.
That's just part of his the golden microphone of the EIB network.
His shtick.
It's part of his shtick. That's a better way of putting it.
The only time I listen to Rush Limbaugh is when I'm up in Kansas City with my grandmother. She's a big time Rush fan. Typically, I'm listening to sports radio like many of you are. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text. And Danny, we'll get to you on the other side of the break. I know you want to talk about the Arkansas best football games of all time bracket that we've had for you on hitthatline.com.
Starting to wind that down.
Yeah. Also want to touch on what Eric Musselman said yesterday, and I think this is probably the biggest takeaway of anything he said. They're going to have an announcement concerning a neutral site game, and I know there's been a lot of speculation on what that game may be. Let's get into that also next. We'll also touch on a couple other things coming up in the program. Tom Murphy joins us at 7:15 this morning. Former Razorback Dusty Hannis joins us at 8. Loaded show this morning. Stay with us on the Morning Rush.
Backyard vacations. That's what Burton Pools and Spas is all about. Right now, save on all your backyard family fun at Burton's. Doughboy pool packages, up to $700 off. Hot spring spas, up to $3,300 off. And endless pool fitness systems, up to $10,000 off. Pick up the phone and call Burton Pools and Spas today, or use our online virtual tours or video chat for an easy and safe shopping experience. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Folks, we at Mosquito Joe understand how important your yard is. It's where some of your best memories are made with your family. It's where you play catch with your kids or grandkids. It's where you have your friends over for those backyard barbecues. You don't have to keep letting mosquitoes crash the party. There's a solution for that now. Mosquito Joe protects your yard so you can focus on what's important. Call Mosquito Joe today. Get your first service for just $39. 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Are your appliances struggling? Do you need that part and not sure where to go? Mid-South Distributing has you covered with 9 locations in the Arkansas area. Appliance parts and accessories for all major brands of appliance. Mid-South Distributing has you, the customer, in mind when you're needing that part for your appliance. Mid-South Distributing. Check out midsouthparts.com to find your location near you. Mid-South Distributing. We're in your neighborhood.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
0% for 84 months and no payments for 120 days at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. During these unprecedented times, Harry Robinson is making it easier for you to buy. Get 0% for 84 months and deferred payments on all 2019 Buick and GMC models and 2020 Buick Encores and Visions, GMC Acadias, Terrains, and Sierras. Find out more at harryrobinson.com. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Need to see a doctor but you're concerned about going? River Valley Primary Care is now seeing patients at all 10 clinics by video and phone visits. See a doctor today who can diagnose your condition and prescribe medication if needed. These visits are now covered by most insurance plans. River Valley Primary Care in Ratcliffe, Mountainburg, Mulberry, Clarksville, Lavaca, Lamar, Waldron, and 3 locations in Fort Smith. Call 479-431-2050 or go online to rvpcs.org. See a doctor today by video or phone with River Valley Primary Care.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
The Golf Nut is open and the simulators are available. Call to book a tee time to practice or play on one of 100 courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. All that is asked of you is you use CDC guidelines for social distancing. The Golf Nut offers curbside pickup and you can pay using a credit card, Venmo, PayPal, or Apple Pay. One of the few things that is still available to do is play golf, and the Golf Nut is open and ready with the best selection of name brand clubs and apparel. The Golf Nut, your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Oh, wow!
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunshine with us today. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 70s north, upper 70s south. An increase in the clouds tonight. A few isolated showers and storms possible. An overnight low in the low to mid 50s. Wednesday, a decent chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your outside fun this year. Call Mosquito Joe to keep your yard mosquito-free. Call 479-202-9960 or visit ArkansasMosquitoJoe.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
All right.
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Eric Musselman teased a neutral site game that they're going to talk about and release next week. And I know a lot of Arkansas fans are really excited because he said it would be a game that many players and fans would be interested in. And we'll get into some speculation on that game coming up. Before we do that, let's go to the phone lines where Danny in Russellville has been patiently waiting. Danny, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, guys. I just like to congratulate Eric Musselman on his good recruiting class. It's hard to imagine having basketball right now or any kind of sports, but I know when we get it, it's going to make us appreciate it that much more. You've been talking about the greatest games. This is how I break it down. As far as important games, I would go with the victory over Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl as a program. But as far as exciting games, the most exciting game I've ever witnessed live was the Andre Ware game in Little Rock. Unless you were there, you cannot comprehend the level of the crowd. It's the greatest crowd I've ever been around at a football game. You can't even describe it, the whole game. The loudest, the best crowd ever. And Houston came into the game. They were cocky. They were beating everybody 100-14 and 89-7, and they were just steamrolling everybody. And they were cocky. They came into the game, and they went and they taunted the fans. The first thing they did when they entered the stadium, they went and they let everybody know that they were good. And I think that's one reason the crowd was so good. But as far as watching live on television, the 7 overtime game against Eli and Ole Miss, that was about as exciting a game as you could watch on television. But
exhausting.
Anyway, guys, that's kind of how I break it down. As far as live games, Houston's number one. I guess Texas victory, 17-14, Little Rock would probably be number 2. But anyway, guys, thanks for taking my call and have a good day.
Thank you, Danny.
Absolutely, Danny. Yeah, those are some good games. So we've heard remarkable stories concerning the Little Rock game in 1989 where Arkansas and Quinn Grovey outdueled Houston and eventual Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware. Might have to get Quinn on because we keep coming back to the same conversation. Who better to talk to about this than the man himself, Quinn Grovey?
So you can vote on those games. Again, you can vote right now. You got those up. We're in the Paul Ills region today.
We are. And just to backtrack a second, the Houston game actually lost in this bracket. The 2002 Miracle on Markham.
Oh, Miracle on Markham.
Miracle on Markham 2002.
I voted.
2002 got that one.
I voted for Miracle on Markham.
Yeah.
Because I was there.
The Houston game was better.
Listen, I'm not going to refute that. I said on the radio yesterday, the Miracle on Markham game was not that good of a game. It just had a spectacular ending.
You can vote right now. We'll touch more on it later in the show, but you can go to hitthatline.com. You can go to @hitthatlineAR on Twitter and on Facebook. It's pinned everywhere, so it's easy for you to find. But we are in a tiebreaker vote also with the Paul Hills Region 2. You've got the 3C, the 2007 victory against number 1 LSU, taking on Sterner DeLucas in 99. Second matchup, one that Danny just touched on, the 7-8 Orange Bowl against Oklahoma, taking on the 2008 Miracle on Markham versus LSU, and London Crawford caught it in the back of the end zone. The tiebreaker, we're in a tie right now between the 69 shootout and the College Game Day victory against Tennessee. It was at 50-50 last time I checked this morning. So you got 3 games to vote on today.
Game Day was awesome. Shootout needs to win that one. I know it was a loss, but Shootout needs to take the gold on that one.
Well, and the 78 Orange Bowl's got to win. I mean, that's a much better match, much better game than the second Miracle on Markham.
So, again, we'll get into that conversation more coming up here on the Morning Rush, the best Arkansas football games of all time bracket, which you can vote on hitthatline.com and then go to the link through Facebook and Twitter as well. But as I mentioned, Eric Musselman made a big-time announcement yesterday that has fans excited.
We're going to have an announcement probably next week about a neutral site game that I think will be very interesting for our fans, and a game that our players will want to really play in as well.
That's very cool.
You don't even know who it is.
I don't know. I don't even get inside access.
So we always talk about great neutral site games for football. I know a lot of you are excited for this isn't a neutral site game, but Oklahoma State coming up in Stillwater, playing Memphis. There's some marquee non-conference games that you have coming up.
How about Missouri at Arrowhead? This year.
It's a great one.
I know you play every year at Jerry's World down in Arlington. That's neutral site game with A&M, but Arkansas's got 2 of those babies this year.
Yeah, so that's going to be mighty fun. I know that it's not a neutral site game, but the Notre Dame coming up as well is going to be fun when you think about that. Basketball-wise, though, you think about the connections Eric Musselman has not only across the board in the NBA, but the college basketball connections he's made as well. And that got me thinking. I saw a number of different responses on this yesterday. Tommy, what non-conference game, neutral site, do you want to see when it comes to this basketball team?
I think a lot of fans want to play Texas, and they played them 2 years ago, 3.
So you
down in El Paso.
You lost to them by like 1 or 2 with Mike Anderson because there was something that happened at the end.
It's the first game of the year, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Do what, James?
It was that Army.
It was
U.S.
played,
Army game or something.
I just say Texas because I think that's where a lot of our fan base goes to with a non-conference neutral site game. We want to play Texas. So I know that's red meat here. I mean, I know that a lot of people are going to agree when I say let's play Texas.
Okay. So Texas and Dallas?
Dallas
has to be it, right?
I think that's a good spot.
You can play in Oklahoma City.
I don't think Texarkana's going to cut it. So yeah.
I would say the only 2 if you're going to play Texas, the only 2 places you can play are Dallas and Oklahoma City because those are neutral enough because you got to remember how many Arkansas alums, fans are in Dallas, Texas. It's unbelievable.
It's the Sprint Center in Kansas City?
Yeah.
This would not be neutral site, but if Arkansas played Kansas.
That's another one that I had written down.
Again, not neutral site because how far is
Lawrence is about 30 minutes or from Kansas City.
You're going to get run over from a fan standpoint.
They call when Kansas plays in the Sprint Center for the Big 12 tournament, they call it Lawrence East because of how many fans go out there.
If you played Memphis, that'd be another one I think regionally that'd have a lot of interest. But where are you going to play them neutral site that's truly neutral site?
See, I said Little Rock, but I don't know if Penny Hardaway. Here was my thinking on that because that's one that popped up as well. Penny Hardaway wants to get into Arkansas because he knows the talent in here. So if you're Penny, I would be okay with playing at Little Rock. Now, you might not win the game, but you give yourself enough of a presence to go across the river. And let's not forget, we got to think about this. Yes, Arkansas is great in-state talent. Yes, you want the kids to go in-state. Coaches outside of the state aren't oblivious to that. It's not going to be easy to pull these guys in. Like, you went 4 for 5 in this class. Absolutely fantastic. Give Muss and his staff a ton of credit. You hope that can continue, but it's not like it's going to get – you got 5 guys that are going to go D1 at least in 2022. It's not going to be easy. That's why I would think that Penny Hardaway and Memphis would want to inch in to Arkansas and play that game at Little Rock.
So let's think about it from a recruiting standpoint. What's important kind of regionally within 300 miles of our state? Is it Texas? We always think about that for football. Is it Louisiana? We always think about that for football. I don't know who you'd play. I mean, if you're going to play this game, you want to do it because it helps recruiting.
I said Oklahoma State and Tulsa. That's
right.
Another. Mike Boyden's, we mentioned Cade Cunningham, one of the best players in high school basketball. He's going to be an Oklahoma State Cowboy. I think that's an interesting idea. I know a couple of people said Arkansas State in Little Rock, but that doesn't help you.
That's not going to happen.
So, and again, like you said, it's not going to happen as well. But maybe you go out west somewhere. But you want to also, you got to think about the distance factor.
Yeah.
And
I'm just trying to think about where his ties are, who he knows, the people he's coached to.
It's out west.
It's out west.
But I think he wants the non-conference. You want to, as you mentioned, you want to make it helpful for recruiting, and you want to make it helpful for the schedule. So if you have one of those, you want to take a guess, 877-377-6963. Coming up, we'll talk to Tom Murphy. Might get his take on this and some other conversations as well on the Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
We're proud to say Mosquito Joe of Arkansas has been providing professional mosquito control service for nearly a decade now. In that time, nothing has been more satisfying than hearing from our customers about the difference Mosquito Joe has made in their yard. If you haven't tried Mosquito Joe yet, then don't take it from us. Google Mosquito Joe of Arkansas. Look at our reviews, read what our customers are saying, and then call 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Get your first service for $39.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get back out on the road. Time for windows rolled down and radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. They also offer oil changes, tire alignments, and much more. Trust Southern Tire Mart for your last-minute getaways, open-road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you're free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. They'll keep you rolling.
Calico County will remain open for delivery and takeout service for many of our menu favorites from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., including breakfast each day until 11 a.m. Now, you can order takeout to be brought to your car at curbside by calling 479-452-3299, or you can use the Order Online button at our website, calicocounty.net. For delivery, use the Waiter app on your computer or your handheld device, and visit our Facebook page to see any changes in our efforts to continue to service our customers.
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where we deliver. We'll deliver a vehicle to you for a test drive. We can do your entire deal online and deliver your new car right to your home. We even do pickup and delivery for service. We do all that, and it's terrific. But we know you need a great deal too, now more than ever. That's why we're matching the government stimulus checks with $1,200 in Rath Auto Relief. Use it as a discount on one of our Rath Road Ready used cars. Use it to help pay off your trade. Use it to pay your sales tax. That's right, $1,200 to help you get into a nicer, newer car today. Or let us take care of the car you have in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and 6 months no interest on the Meineke credit card. You have enough on your mind without worrying about where or how to buy your next car or take care of the car you have. Let your friends at Rath Auto Resources help. You can count on us to deliver. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Towson and Phoenix, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Mr. Dorfman.
Hello.
0.2. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Going to talk to Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette coming up. First, I want to tell you about Academy Mortgage.
Yeah, if you're looking to refinance your home or you're looking to make a first-time purchase of a home, now is a great time. Interest rates are low. They make it easy at Academy Mortgage in Harrison, Mountain Home, and in Clinton. They have the app that you can download to your phone so you can call Matt and get started. Matt Fowler will get you going 870-580-5210. And Matt will get everything set up, help you get that app downloaded, which makes everything easy with the mobile application. You can simply, with a click of a button on your phone, take care of a lot of the documentation, a lot of the electronic signatures, and then they underwrite, process, and fund everything right there in the local branch. So there's no running back and forth. There's no going all over town to get this thing done. Matt and his crew will take care of everything. 100% financing available. Rural development loans, VA loans, first-time home buyers can get up to a $2,000 tax credit and down payment assistance right now. It's all at Academy Mortgage. Again, Harrison, Mountain Home, and in Clinton. Call Matt Fowler at 870-580-5210 for Academy Mortgage.
Tom Murphy joining us now. Tom, we just got off the conversation of the neutral site game speculation, the possibilities that we were concerning with the basketball team. If you had your choice, if you had your druthers of any non-conference neutral site game that Arkansas could play close, what would it be, man?
Well, I didn't hear y'all's, so I might be repeating what somebody might have said.
That's okay.
I'm a big fan of Kansas City, and so that game against Missouri at Arrowhead Stadium I am juiced about, so I really hope the season takes place. But how about something in hoops against Kansas in Kansas City? I mean, it would mostly be a home game for the Jayhawks, but I would love to see something up there. But there's a lot of good neutral site venues. I mean, you could go to Oklahoma City or down to Dallas, but what's the consensus, man? Where is it?
Well, you mentioned that. I know that's been pretty popular. Tommy brought up Texas, and I said playing there in Dallas. We got Matt in Dallas texting in about UCLA and Houston. Jake and Magazine saying Memphis and Little Rock would be interesting. That's something I brought up. But I'm really excited to see what they actually, because Eric Musselman on Instagram Live last night said they were going to release this sometime next week. I'm really curious to see what it is and how big it's going to be just for their non-conference slate this upcoming season.
Eric Musselman is doing a great job. He's selling his program. He's selling himself. I mean, that parade or, the cars driving by with all the signs and cheering the class that they signed was, pure Eric Musselman driving between the Walton Arena and the Basketball Performance Center, I guess named for Eddie Sutton, and just kind of having a little parade and having fun with it and stirring up some drama. With, the class that he signed is a magnificent class. Probably if they perform and they stick around, will be thought of as one of the best that Arkansas has ever had, if they live up to their ratings. And just the tantalizing part about they're going to be an attractive team to get invited to the highest quality holiday tournaments and all kind of non-conference things like this. So the Arkansas basketball clearly on the rise, and they're going to draw a lot more attention around the country in the coming years.
Tom, Eric Musselman did not bury the lead yesterday. The lead was not the recruiting. It was Isaiah Joe has filled out the paperwork to at least explore professional basketball in the NBA draft. What was your thoughts when he made that announcement at the top of the teleconference yesterday?
Well, every indication that he had given and that we had become aware of was that he was going to apply. The good part, obviously, for Razorback fans, if you want to see Isaiah Joe back, is they're adamant, maintaining that they're not going to hire an agent right now. So it'll be a process until, I guess, is it June the 1st? They have to decide whether to keep their name in or not. So that's more than a month. They'll be able to glean a lot of information in that time. I mean, Bob laid it out in his story that about the highest you see Joe picked among various media outlets is in the 40s, mid-40s. So you're talking about mid-second round. And then there's some entities that rank him outside the top 60, which would be, non-draftee. And then, you look at all your options there. But I've stated it on here, and I'll state it again. I'd like to see him get a little bigger to be able to withstand the pounding. And obviously his three-point shot, which is, his deal, his forte, the percentage dropped, and I'd like to see him shoot a little bit better. I'd like to see him come back, maybe selfishly, because I think he's a great kid and a great teammate. Yesterday, Eric Musselman said that he may know of no other player that he's had who's been less unselfish. Did I say that right? Did I use too many double negatives? No. He's never had a player that's been less unselfish than Isaiah Joe. And you see it. The Georgia Tech game, with seconds left in the game, Mason Jones passed it, Isaiah, and he was going to have to come up with something crazy because dudes were all over him, and he got it back to Jones. Now, it wasn't a great position, and Jones had to hit the banker, but he gave the ball up. So, Isaiah Joe has put himself in this position, and they'll find out in the coming weeks what the scouts and the talent have to say, and then he'll make the decision.
Let's work from the premise that Isaiah Joe comes back and Mason Jones doesn't. I think some people would think that's the most likely, but who knows? Let's just work from that premise that Joe's back, Mason's not. Who else has to step up out of this recruiting class or on the current roster to keep Isaiah Joe from – he's going to draw the best defender anyway, but from drawing double teams, to allow his game to still have an opportunity to shine? Who has to be that other player? Because you're going to have somebody that can make shots, Tom, to keep Isaiah Joe from getting double-teamed the whole year on the perimeter.
Well, that's a great question to be worked out in camp. I mean, the possibilities are pretty long. I mean, when you think about it, Moses Moody is a ball handler, J.D. Notae, and Musselman said on his previous teleconference that they would want Isaiah to be on the ball a little bit more, to run more pick and roll stuff through him. So he'd have to, either be on the ball or passed to. So Jalen Williams, I mean, he's a guy who could keep Joe from being double teamed. Connor Vanover, I mean, these guys, Vance Jackson, they can all shoot the three-pointer. I mean, he is fashioning a team that gives you dangerous weapons at all points on the floor. And if a guy's struggling on a given night, now they have some more depth. They have guys who can go back up and get the ball and give you an extra chance on offense. I mean, their offensive rebounding numbers ought to shoot up. I wouldn't be surprised if they shot up 25% in the coming year, just because they have bigger dudes and taller and more physical guys. I mean, it's incredible the amount of roster upgrade they've gone through. And as he put it yesterday, the players determine the playing time. And so camp is going to be really interesting to see how these minutes get doled out, because to me, there's some guys on the roster coming back. We're talking about Desi Sills and Reggie Chaney and Ethan Henderson, and that have given you quality minutes that, if they continue their progressions, deserve to be in the rotation as well. So that 7-8 man rotation we saw last year should be gone.
Yeah, thinking more 9 to 10. Talking Arkansas basketball with Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush. Tom, one of the calling cards of Eric Musselman, of Nolan Richardson's squads was their unselfishness. And you heard Eric Musselman talk several times about Jalen Williams, K.K. Robinson, Devontae Davis, and Moses Moody, willingness to pass the ball, be unselfish. How important is that this upcoming year with a lot more talent on this roster and a lot more touches that have to be divvied out?
Super important. Get the ball to the guy who's going to have the best shot, but don't overpass. So it just comes down to feel in the course of the game. And I think in particular he talked about Moses Moody being an advanced passer, getting the ball down the floor, getting the ball out on the break, and setting up teammates. And that he had all these other scorers at Oak Hill, and he was very content to set them up and make the offensive team flow. And I think from his talk yesterday that basically the entire roster is going to be that way. And when you think that way, when you share as a team, when the team goals outstrip what your personal goals are, then you have the makings of what could be a great team. Now, making the roster all come together and keeping locker room tension down and all that comes down to Musselman and his staff when you've got that much talent on one roster. So it's going to be a fascinating season to watch this team come around. Maybe they should have cameras on it all year.
Tom, Dusty Hannis is going to join us in about 30 minutes. I was going back through some old highlights, some old stories yesterday, and as a guy that was the beat writer at the time when he was in school, what's your favorite Dusty Hannis story that comes to your mind?
Oh, gosh. Well, I loved his three-point stroke was unreal. He kept – I don't think his family liked that when he was coming off the bench, but he didn't publicly sulk about it and continued his production. I want to say that Mike Anderson did the same thing with either Antoine Bell or somebody the next year, kind of making him the sixth man. And he had so many games where he lit it up. I want to say there was an Ole Miss game where, I think Antoine was one of the key guys on making a ton of threes in that game, and he was part of it. But it was a fun team to cover. I mean, you had Kingsley inside, and I believe Alandis Harris overlapped with Dusty some. And he was – I remember this. My daughter didn't care much about basketball, but she saw Dusty and decided she wanted to start going to some games. That's what I remember.
So she enjoyed the three-point shooting too.
She did, and she wanted to have a seat as low toward the court as she could get.
I understand.
I don't think Dusty's ever had a problem when it comes to the ladies department, Tom, ever.
Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, with us here on the Morning Rush. One thing we noticed in this class is Moses Moody, K.K. Robinson, Bryant, and Little Rock both end up going out of state to academy schools, Oak Hill Academy, Monteverde Academy. Do you think this is a trend we'll see continue? Do you think it's a plus or minus? What are your thoughts on players that leave their high schools to go to preparatory academies to finish high school? Does it make them a better player? Are they as well-rounded as they could be? What's Tom Murphy's thoughts on that path?
Well, Tommy, I don't have enough data to tell you if it made them a better player, but they are around guys. They're around talent who all determined that basketball was going to be their deal. And they focus on that. They get great coaching because Eric Musselman pointed out yesterday on the call that the coaches at these levels could clearly be college-level coaches. So their training is upgraded, and they're around talent that believes basketball is their ticket, and that's what they focus on. And I do believe that, like in Moody's case, he became a facilitator because there was so much talent around him, and so now we'll get to see what he is. Maybe has a chance to score a little bit more. And K.K. Robinson, who I didn't mention a minute ago, is another guy who helps create things and set people up. So, I think that on the whole, it's probably, if that's what their families decide, I'm sure there's fees involved. It's expensive to send them out of state to go do that kind of thing, but Oak Hill has a big reputation. Monteverde's is climbing. They come back to the state, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of Razorback fans supporting them, and they're going to get their chances. So I would say, on the whole, it's probably advantageous to them if they do that, if you can afford it.
You know, Jenkins was going over the list of the starting 5 at Monteverde earlier, all in the top 10 on the recruiting rankings. I mean, you could make a case that the team Moses Moody was playing with last year might be better in some capacities than the team he's going to play with next year.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, of course, they'll all be freshmen, but that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is it's surrounded by the great talent, and so they didn't have to be just the man. And then sometimes in their high school situations, they would be the man and draw a lot of defensive attention.
Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette joins us every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:15. Tom, as always, we appreciate the time, and I know you're as excited as I am to see what neutral site game that they release next week.
Jacked up, man. We'll talk about it then.
All right, buddy. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So
All
let's
right, take care.
Absolutely, man. So let's get back to the Arkansas football bracket when it comes to the regions, and we're now in the Paul Eels region. Jenkins, you said there's a tiebreaker in the Broyles region between the 69 shootout and the College Game Day game in 2006 versus the Tennessee Volunteers.
That is correct. Last I checked, it was 50-50. Let's see if I can have it pulled up here. 69 shootout is winning right now, 52-47. So we'll let it go for the rest of the day again.
As fun as that College Game Day was, I think the 69 shootout deserves to move on at that
Hard
point.
to tell the history of the program, but it is a loss. I get tired of talking about games that were of ultra magnitude. I mean, national games of the week kind of deal, maybe game of the year kind of deal in the 69 shootout. Game of the century, they labeled it. And you lost it. What
would be those three? Is it 95 against UCLA, this year against Kentucky, 2010 Bama? Are those kind of in the same category where, like, how the magnitude of, and maybe not importance for this year, but just the magnitude, the level that the fans brought to that game?
Okay. I'm going to throw another one in there since you threw in 95 UCLA that goes in that category that doesn't get talked about, and that's Arkansas UNLV on that Sunday at Barnhill Arena. That was a 1-2. That's a huge non-conference game. You better go get you some men game. You know, that was where that famous phrase came from with Larry Johnson. So
he told that to Nolan, right?
Told that to Nolan coming up the floor. You better go get you some men. And the game was played at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And there was a lot of people in church that wanted to be in front of a TV or had an illness that day for some reason. But that was another big-time moment that Arkansas found itself in as a program and came up on the short end.
So that game, 1-2, where UNLV and Jerry Tarkanian ended up winning. I remember an instance, this is where I really like Todd Days. Larry Johnson was probably one of the, if not the baddest dude in college basketball at the time.
He's a grown man.
As about as intense and as about as intimidating as it gets. And
there was a moment where there was some pushing and shoving, and like Todd Day and Larry Johnson were going to maybe throw fist.
He took a swing at him.
It would, it would have not went well if Larry Johnson had connected.
Yeah, that's something that I think that Todd is probably he'll never come out and say it, I don't think, but he's probably happy that he didn't land one on Larry Johnson.
Well, more happy that Larry Johnson didn't land one
at him. Yeah, because the refs, if you watch the highlight, a ref kind of took it to the chin. Now, it wasn't a full punch, but it was a push, and it slapped him on the face. It did not look like something that you would want to break up.
Game had some tension. Yeah.
It did, and it was a very fun, intense game. Unfortunately, Arkansas fell, but that game was important, as you mentioned, because Nolan Richardson and the rest of the team realized that they had to get some more big guys. And you just needed more dudes on the front line.
Enter Corliss Williamson, not far after that.
And others that were very important to that national championship run and the one the following year. So the Paul Eels region, Sweet 16, the matchups that we have for you today. And again, you can vote for these on hitthatline.com. You can vote for them if you go to Twitter or our Facebook page. You'll find the link, and it'll direct you to the voting process. The 2007 game against number 1 LSU, which is a 3 seed, Nuts' last game, versus number 2 seed, the 99 game against Tennessee, the redeem game where you brought the goalpost down to Dixon, Sterner to Lucas. We talked to Anthony about that last week. Tommy, which one are you going with?
I mean, it's a tough one because the win over LSU got you to the Cotton Bowl. Arkansas lost the Cotton Bowl. It was, when Petrino was coming in, Nutt was headed out, interim staff. I'm going to go with the 99 game. Sterner to Lucas. Anytime you tear the goalpost down and carry it to Dixon, that's got to be the winner, right?
I think that takes the cake, probably.
Yeah, and then you just got to know the whole story there, and I know you do, with the loss in 98, what it meant. We still talk about the 98 game in Tennessee, and then to get the redemption the next year by, ironically, coincidentally, however way you want to look at it, the same score, 28-24. I mean, that was just that was an amazing redemption story for this program.
Incredible game. I don't recall watching. I've watched it times over since it's happened, but for me, it has to be 2007 LSU on the road, number 1 team in the country. Didn't have the same significance as you're talking about, but anytime you go on the road and you beat the number 1 team in the country, who happens to be your rival on top of that, who was the supposed crowned already national champion, you dethrone them even though they ended up winning the national championship that year. You're playing for your coach. His job's on the line even though he ends up retiring days or like that night.
He quit with golden handcuffs, all that stuff.
And just everything that goes into
that night, but it was shortly, a few days after.
Shortly after.
But then you end up, it's got that Wood game. You don't end up with a Heisman Trophy for Darren McFadden. You end up with all the, Reggie Herring and all those guys as an interim staff that led to back-to-back fake punts out of a timeout. I mean, just I don't know. I know that was a big win, but it really didn't lead to anything.
Who did you play in the bowl game in 99? Was that Michigan or was it the year before?
In 99, following the 98 year?
Correct.
Played Michigan in the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
Got beat.
So, and that went, and you said
Tom Brady's last college game.
Yeah, last college game. That's what I thought it was. Who'd you play in 99 then?
You played Texas. It was the 2000 Cotton Bowl.
That was the 2000. Okay, that was the 2000 Cotton Bowl where you went to Texas, or when you went to Dallas and ran
10 a.m.
over
kickoff,
27-6, if I remember that score correctly.
Just
demolished them. It was great.
Them.
Next matchup in the Paul Eels region, the 1978 Orange Bowl win over number 2 Oklahoma, where you had 3 starters suspended for the Razorbacks. Versus Miracle on Markham 2 against LSU in 2008. This is easy. It's the Orange Bowl. It's not even close.
Yeah,
I love
no
Miracle.
there.
Miracle on Markham 2 was great. Casey Dick to London Crawford, 4th and 1. Fantastic, but it doesn't measure up to the Orange Bowl game.
Orange Bowls is just a pillar of the program. I mean, you can't tell the history without that game included.
Really set the tone for the Lou Holtz era.
Yeah.
I might add to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about Arkansas was given no chance. They weren't given a lot of chance prior to players being suspended, but then after that, it's like they have no shot in this game. And they ran all over the Oklahoma Sooners, which you got worked by them in 87. Have you played? When's the last time you played Oklahoma? So you played them in 78. You lost them in 87.
Played them in the Cotton Bowl in 02. Got beat 10-7 or something like that. It's cold, miserably cold day.
You're right. It was a close game. It was
close game, but I mean, it never felt like Arkansas was going to win the game. It was spit and snow. The wind chill was in the low 30s, maybe 20s. It was just a miserable day.
As bad as 2009 in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl.
My seats were so bad for that game. The lights on the upper deck hung in front of me. That's how high up I was for that game in 02. It was bad.
Do you not have a media pass back then?
I wasn't. No,
I guess you weren't doing sports radio back then. So, was that colder than the 2009 Liberty Bowl? Because I've heard that's the worst.
I was not. We were a couple of weeks away from my son being born, so I was here. Ruskin went to that game, and from all indications, that was about as bad as it gets too.
Well,
listening to Tyler and Derek tell that story, I did not go to Liberty Bowl,
but they did. Well, you know what? It may have been cold then, but it's not going to be cold this weekend, so take advantage at Gaston's.
Yeah, you can head up to the White River and get on one of the best trout streams in all of North America at Gaston's White River Resort. And if you're still trying to socially distance, and you should, Gaston's is the perfect place. All their cabins, all their lodges, all the accommodations are set up privately. So they got 80 different cabins and lodges on site, many with fireplaces, most with kitchens. You can cook your own meals or call the restaurant and they'll deliver breakfast, lunch, or dinner to your doorstep and bring it to you with their great restaurant as well. 870-431-5202 or look first online at Gastons.com. The fishing has been excellent on the White River lately, so don't miss out on that. Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
0% for 84 months and no payments for 120 days at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. During these unprecedented times, Harry Robinson is making it easier for you to buy. Get 0% for 84 months and deferred payments on all 2019 Buick and GMC models and 2020 Buick Encores and Visions, GMC Acadias, Terrains, and Sierras. Find out more at HarryRobinson.com. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get back out on the road. Time for windows rolled down and radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. They also offer oil changes, tire alignments, and much more. Trust Southern Tire Mart for your last-minute getaways, open-road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you're free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. They'll keep you rolling.
Calico County will remain open for delivery and takeout service for many of our menu favorites from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., including breakfast each day until 11 a.m. Now, you can order takeout to be brought to your car at curbside by calling 479-452-3299, or you can use the Order Online button at our website, calicocounty.net. For delivery, use the Waiter app on your computer or your handheld device, and visit our Facebook page to see any changes in our efforts to continue to service our customers.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to WaveRuralConnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Bush Machine and Tractor at 7301 0 Street in Fort Smith is your one-stop shop for tractors, lawnmowers, and implements. Choose from Massey Ferguson, Branson, and TYM tractors. Implements from Woods, Battle Armor, and Modern Ag. Find a Gravely commercial mower and get the job done mile after mile and season after season. Bush Machine and Tractor is your #1 Branson dealer in Arkansas and works on all brands of tractors and mowers. Come see us or check out all our inventory at bushtractor.com.
In sports, success is measured in the number of points scored, in games won, and in championships earned. At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, in being there when you need us. In fact, 9 out of 10 people surveyed with a claim would recommend Shelter to a friend. Shelter Insurance. Wear your shield. Wear your shelter.
Ask shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith until further notice will be takeout and pickup only with curbside service available. Whole Hog Cafe Fort Smith will also until further notice be open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Whole Hog Cafe on Borough Road also has the drive-thru for your convenience. Call Whole Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue or Borough Road or order online at wholehogfortsmith.com for your award-winning Memphis-style barbecue inside.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The last time I went to one of our Christmas parties, I almost got fired because I went Willie the Boss after I had a little too much sauce.
Subscribe to the Morning Rush podcast wherever podcasts are found.
Dusty Hannon's going to join us in about 15 minutes. If you have any questions for him, 877-377-6963. Want to get into more of this Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe conversation. Before we do that, I want to tell you about NWA Gold and Silver.
Oil's crashing. The market's very volatile right now. Where do you find safe harbor? That's in gold. Gold's at $1,670 an ounce right now this morning. So why do I tell you this? Because if you got gold and silver coins, you got gold jewelry you hadn't worn in decades, and you need cash right now, the price of gold is way up, $1,670 an ounce, and you can take it to NWA Gold and Silver in Bentonville, Fayetteville, or Fort Smith. These are the people that pay the most. So that gold jewelry you're not going to ever wear again, why not turn it into the cash you need right now with NWA Gold and Silver? You've got gold or silver coins in a safety deposit box or a gun safe. Now's the time to get the most, and NWA Gold and Silver can help you do that. If you need cash, take your gold or silver to NWA Gold and Silver, the people that pay the most. You'll find them in Bentonville at 1130 North Walton. You'll find them in Fayetteville in Nelson's Crossing, right by Jason's Deli, and they're on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That's NWA Gold and Silver, the people that pay the most.
So if you haven't heard, Isaiah Joe has not signed with an agent, but he's put his name in the NBA draft, filed his paperwork. His family have talked about that. Eric Musselman mentioned that yesterday, and he wanted to stress that Isaiah Joe has not signed with an agent.
No doubt that whatever decision Isaiah and his family will make will be for sure the right decision. I think the exact wording last night when I talked with Eric, and like I said, Isaiah just got off the phone on the Zoom call. I mean, they are not hiring an agent. That was made abundantly clear. They're going through the process to use it as a feedback time and to try to make the best decision that they possibly can, but they are not hiring an agent for sure.
You laid this out earlier. I think the best, or not best case scenario, I think the most likely scenario, now I don't know if I want to put myself in the camp that Isaiah's coming back yet. You seem to be more on that side, on that line of thinking. But I think the most likely,
based on like how adamant he was.
Yes, based on that, based on what you've heard, based on what we've talked about, I think the most likely scenario, if you're going to say one's going to come back, one's going to leave, Mason goes, Isaiah comes back. If it's going to be a 1-1, if you keep one and one goes.
Yeah.
Now, both of them can go. I think, as you mentioned earlier in the week, the least likely scenario is that both of them come back.
Seems to be, but again, we're speculating. Now, I don't think you go. Now, this is just my opinion. If I had a son that was in this position, or I had a family member, someone was asking my opinion, you don't go unless you're a surefire first-round choice, right? Because I think another year in this system could get you from wherever you're at with your draft grade at that point to get you up to first-round stock. That's where the money's at. Second round, particularly last half, picks like 45 through 60. Ty, you know this. You may not even make the roster. You're more likely to end up in the G League, or not playing for bad money, but not for millions, for tens of thousands or maybe a couple 100,000. I think you can do better by another year at Arkansas. Now, some of that's my selfishness wanting them to play for the team that we all love and root for. But you got to think about, how do I get from where I'm at now to the first round? If you're not a first-round projection, you got to really think long and hard about whether you want to go. If you're Mason Jones, you've been out of school, 2 years longer than Isaiah Joe? Count the prep school year and where he's at? he may just be tired of the routine going. I mean, some of these guys don't want to go to class any longer and be accountable for all the things you got to do to be a student athlete. That's part of the decision making for them. So you got to really figure out where they want to be. And I think it seems like Mason Jones is, based on our conversation with him here on the show, he's far more resolved to pursue his professional dream.
And I think the additional 2 years, as you mentioned, plays a big part in that. I would think that he's probably graduated at this point, as now a fifth year. He has the Link Prep.
I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure how much the Link Prep counts towards getting your degree. Someone would have to tell me. I just don't know.
I don't know if JUCO classes translate as well. That'd be something to ask.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, they do.
Okay, so I would think he's either very close to graduation or he's graduated, might have to take like one class or something to be eligible. But I understand his reasoning, and you got to strike while the iron's hot. I get that as well. On Isaiah, though,
can you come back and be player of the year again or co-player of the year? Be in that conversation again?
See, this is where Clay and I differ. He's under the impression that it will get easier for Mason because of more talent, which is true. He will have like the possessions he does get. If he decided to come back, he would get easier. But, and there's a key but in there, Tommy, he's not going to get as many touches. Period. Like with these guys coming
share
in,
it a little more.
with the sharing coming in, where there's a lot more offensive talent now on this roster than there was this past season. That being said, you're going to spread the wealth a little bit more. He's not going to get as many touches as other guys will, or as he was used to. And he is more, as we saw last year, better when he's a ball-dominant player, and that's going to disrupt the flow of the offense, other guys getting in the rhythm and stuff. So he's not doing it. So I completely understand Mason doing it. Wish him all the luck in the world. Hope he kills it. With Isaiah, though, I think it's his decision. It's his family's decision. I hope that they're going to, and it seems like based on what Eric Musselman said, they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to continue to look through the process, study the process, and make sure it's his best decision. You think guys should only leave if they're first round or better? I
think so, particularly if you're a sophomore, particularly if you have 2 more years. Come back. I mean, I know there's the risk of injury, but there's the risk of injury, and you get cut in the G League too, and you're done. I mean, and I just think particularly in 2020 where the fallback plan can't be playing overseas right now. That may be a possibility, but how do you know with everything in this world if borders are going to be open, if it's going to be safe? Do you want to be that? I mean, I'd have apprehension about being halfway around the world and medical care if there's another outbreak. I mean, we just have more to think about now after all we've been through the last month and a half. So I just don't think, well, if it doesn't work out for the NBA or the G League, we'll go to Somewhereistan and play. I don't know that that's necessarily a possibility. We're going to talk to B.J. Young coming up tomorrow. He's been playing in China the last 3 years. He's made that, and he played 2 years. There's money to be made in other corners of the world. If that's your primary concern, is making money. I'm just saying, does another year of investment at Arkansas get you to the NBA? Because that's where all these guys. No one's playing in Italy like Rodney Clark, or no one's playing in China like Courtney Fortson or B.J. Young. If they could get a spot on an NBA roster, that's where everybody in the world wants to play in the NBA.
Correct.
So does another year at Arkansas get you closer to the ultimate dream?
And you think it's Mason, he's got a lot more to lose than to gain if he came back. Isaiah, you could say he's got more to gain if he comes back.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
And I think, well, you said that, so I'm going to give you credit on that. When it comes to this conversation of should a guy stay or should a guy go, it comes down to one thing only. It's finances. Now, I don't think that, from what I've heard from my buddies that work at ArcBest, Mr. Joe is pretty high up in ArcBest, so I don't think they're strapped for that.
But and you're talking about family considerations,
correct?
Whether or not the family is in need of immediate, like last night, part 2 of The Last Dance. Scottie Pippen needed to play and take that long-term deal because his family,
dad was in a wheelchair, his brother was in a wheelchair,
right.
So that's a huge factor in the equation, and
those factors matter.
So that's my biggest, when you look at if you're going to go somewhere or not. And again, I've never really had to worry about where my next meal is coming from or anything, so maybe I'm not the best person to determine what that is, but that's just how I look at it when it comes to finance.
You missed many meals either, have you?
Nope.
Hey, we're
I don't
brought to
think
you
so.
brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. 2-year price guarantee. When you make the move to Dish right now, you can probably save $500 to $1,000 a year based on what you're paying now. Call Ben, let him get you hooked up. They also have tailgater units. They're $150 off. They don't want to move them, part of their moving sale. Call WOW now, 877-305-DISH.
Coming up next, Dusty Hannis joins the Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. Newsflash, gold is at a 7.5-year high and currently at $1,683 per ounce. There has never been a better time than now to sell your unworn and broken jewelry. Turn that jewelry into amazing amounts of cash. We purchase diamond rings, diamond engagement rings, and sterling silver flatware and hollowware. We're also buying David Yurman, Stephen Lagos, John Hardy, Constantino, Tiffany & Company, and more. The time is now to empty out that safety deposit box or jewelry chest. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. Not sure your items are real or just want to find out what your valuables are worth? Stop by and let one of our expert staff give you a free evaluation while you wait. Have gold or silver coins or bullion? We buy that as well. Don't sell them through an estate sale or auction and get less money. Can't make it to us, we make house calls. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Are your appliances struggling? Do you need that part and not sure where to go? Mid-South Distributing has you covered with 9 locations in the Arkansas area. Appliance parts and accessories for all major brands of appliance. Mid-South Distributing has you, the customer, in mind when you're needing that part for your appliance. Mid-South Distributing. Check out midsouthparts.com to find your location near you. Mid-South Distributing. We're in your neighborhood.
Backyard vacations. That's what Burton Pools and Spas is all about. Right now, save on all your backyard family fun at Burton's. Doughboy pool packages, up to $700 off. Hot spring spas, up to $3,300 off. And endless pool fitness systems, up to $10,000 off. Pick up the phone and call Burton Pools and Spas today. Or use our online virtual tours or video chat for an easy and safe shopping experience. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where we deliver. We'll deliver a vehicle to you for a test drive. We can do your entire deal online and deliver your new car right to your home. We even do pickup and delivery for service. We do all that, and it's terrific. But we know you need a great deal too, now more than ever. That's why we're matching the government stimulus checks with $1,200 in Rath Auto Relief. Use it as a discount on one of our Rath Road Ready used cars. Use it to help pay off your trade. Use it to pay your sales tax. That's right, $1,200 to help you get into a nicer, newer car today. Or let us take care of the car you have in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and 6 months no interest on the Meineke credit card. You have enough on your mind without worrying about where or how to buy your next car or take care of the car you have. Let your friends at Rath Auto Resources help. You can count on us to deliver. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Towson and Phoenix, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. To go, curbside pickup, or delivery for all your Fridays favorites. See the full menu of appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays signature entrees, kids meals, and of course, dessert online at Fridays.com. Also check out Fridays Butcher Shop. Premium meats ready for you to cook at home. Call TGI Fridays to place your order. 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Do you find yourself smacking yourself in the face every time you walk out in your yard? Well, Mosquito Joe can fix your itch. Mosquito Joe has a team of licensed, professional mosquito control experts to rid your yard of those pesky mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy your yard anytime, day or night. To get started for just $39, Call Mosquito Joe today, 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A stray shower or thunderstorm across the north early tonight, otherwise mainly clear sky. Overnight lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Tuesday, plenty of sunshine, or high in the low 70s north, upper 70s south. And then we'll see widespread showers, a few thunderstorms for Wednesday with highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your outside fun this year. Call Mosquito Joe to keep your yard mosquito-free. Call 479-202-9960 or visit arkansasmosquitojoe.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Getting to call my parents that day and tell them I was going to Arkansas was one of the coolest moments of my life, and it always will be.
Hannah hits it! Hannah's will launch from way out. Why not? Oh, goodness. That is anywhere inside the gym range.
What a terrific shooter this young guy is. Now he's talking trash to Ben Simmons at the free throw line.
Our next guest is a top 5 3-point percentage shooter in Razorback history. He caused Ben Simmons to wet himself at the free throw line, and he's always dreamed of being a Razorback. Dusty Hannis now joins the Morning Rush. Dusty, thanks for coming on, man. Everyone seems to be growing their hair out, growing their facial hair out. And I know back in the day at PA, and especially at Texas Tech, you grew your hair out a little bit. So can we expect to see long-haired Dusty back anytime soon?
Man, I've been getting haircuts still, which is, not everyone gets that luxury right now. But just kind of had a close friend that's always cut my hair, so that's been a positive. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep it normal for now. Maybe if this gets out of hand and it's a really, really long thing, I'll probably will.
Yeah, what's harder to get, brand name hand sanitizer or haircut right now? Or toilet paper? Maybe toilet paper.
It's probably harder to get the hand sanitizer, honestly.
So, Dusty, I remember when I was a freshman in high school and we were playing you guys. You were a 10th grader, and the opening play of the game, you came off this double screen, NBA 3, hit it in one of our guys' face. And at the time, I was thinking, okay, this guy's probably going to play college or professional basketball. And you also played on a couple of my buddies' junior deputy team back in the day. When was the time, when was the moment that you knew or you thought that you had a chance to play professional basketball?
I guess just some, several moments throughout high school, at a young age, you never know because you're short and you don't know if you're going to be tall enough. But once I got into that height in about sophomore year of high school, I grew from like 5'9" to 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", and then once I got to that height, I knew I had a pretty good chance. Well, definitely was going to play college, but I thought I had a good chance in my own little delusional mind back then that I could play in the NBA, and then I just kept working.
Dusty, I'm sure you keep up with Arkansas. I know you're busy, playing professional basketball. How much do you get to watch Arkansas right now, and how much did you get to see Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe lead this team this year?
And I'm close by in Memphis, so the schedule is a little different sometimes as far as like me playing. I'll have a game, and then sometimes they have a game. But if it's not, the schedules don't converge, I'm watching every game. So I caught a lot of games from, you know, my first 3 years pro. I missed maybe like 10 of them probably, but I loved watching Mason and Isaiah play. That was a fun team to watch.
I wanted to ask and just get some reference on how much you watched, because both of these guys making a decision, Mason Jones, and now we learned yesterday Isaiah Joe has filled out the paperwork to enter the draft. What's that process like? What should they be evaluating right now as they try to make the decision whether to stay in college or go professional?
I mean, I guess it just differs from person to person. You know, if you know, when you're Mason, that's a tough decision as far as you have to come back and light the world on fire again if you're him with a loaded team, which would be kind of tough, you know. So, you know, in his shoes, it's tough to say. You know, you can't really do much better than how Mason did this year. So, if you're trying to go while the hand's hot, and you know, if you can give yourself the best chance, maybe now would be for Mason. Now with Isaiah, I don't really know, because I'm not hearing what GMs are saying and stuff. I'm sure they love him because his length and his shooting the basketball. I mean, they're going to love him. It's just this draft process now with the coronavirus is just, you know, it's a whole different ball game. So it's kind of hard for me to give, you know, someone pointers on what they should be looking for, because it just changed so much this summer.
You've had a chance in the NBA. You've spent a lot of your or some of your time in the G League as well. What is life like in the G League? Because I think that's one thing you got to be thinking about is, you know, in college you got great facilities. It's charter planes. I don't imagine life in the G League quite has the luxury.
Right. I mean, it's a place that, you know, most players are going to have to go play in, you know, besides, you know, some of the elites. You know, most everybody's going to have to touch that G League at some point, you know. So I was blessed with a good situation in Memphis. We used the Grizzlies facilities, like the FedEx Forum is where we practiced, and we played in the Lander Center, which is like 10, 15 minutes down the road. But yeah, the commercial flights, it can get to be a huge grind. You know, I've heard different stories from other guys in the G League as far as, you know, the working out at churches. You know, that you hear some stories. So I just got blessed with like a nice situation as far as facilities wise.
Speaking with Dusty Hannis here on the Morning Rush. Dusty, I know that you've talked with Eric Musselman. You've done a little shooting workout back in the practice facility when he took over as head coach. And I was kind of curious to see the relationships that would occur with Eric Musselman coming in after Mike Anderson was fired. We played the clip coming in, how blessed you were to get offered and eventually come by Razorback, and how Mike was your guy who was the reason that you ended up at Arkansas. When you think about the different connections that Mike made with different Razorbacks, whether you played, whether you didn't, and then just kind of how Eric Musselman has come in, how would you say he's not necessarily patched it over, but he's kind of seamlessly flowed in and developed a lot of relationships with a lot of Mike's former players?
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have played for Coach Buss after watching how he coaches. I mean, I would have loved to play for him. He was open arms. You know, he welcomed me with open arms as soon as he got here. We went and, you know, got dinner very, very early on, and you know, we're just able to chat and we've just been able to talk. When me and Courtney Fortson go work out and you know, play one-on-one. He comes down and he'll chat. So, you know, just getting to pick his brain and get to know him has been cool.
Who won that one-on-one game, Dusty?
I mean, Courtney's won his fair share, and I mean, he's probably up on the series on me right now. But he's probably one of the better defenders in the world, to be honest with you.
So one of the things that Eric Musselman's teams are known for is jacking threes, shooting a lot of threes, and that's only going to increase with the three-point arsenal that they've added with a couple of these different players. I was going through Hog Stats, different statistics last night, seeing how many Arkansas players over the years took the most threes, and I saw Pat Bradley took 24 games in a 3-1 time against North Texas. What do you think would have happened between you and Coach Anderson if you had shot 24 threes in a game, man?
I don't think would have ever been possible for me. He would have for sure subbed me out after like the third straight one.
So, what do you? I mean, obviously, everyone's dealing with coronavirus and COVID-19. It shut down the NBA, who was the first to cease their operations as a professional sport, which led to a domino effect with the NCAA tournament and a lot of other things. Where were you at? What was that like? What were you hearing? And do you think the NBA gets back in this calendar year?
It's tough to say as far as when it's going to come back. I mean, I'm hoping it comes back because I had 10 days coming with the club, and so when I heard it, it was just like it was a gut punch. Like I was getting so excited to, get back up there. I just gotten 10 day and just came back down for a couple G League games, and then got the word from my agent that a different team was going to give me a shot. So I was getting very excited, and then we get back from South Dakota and I'm watching that. I don't know if I was watching the Thunder Jazz game. I think I was watching something else, but then that popped up on the screen, like that Rudy Gobert could be sick in the back or whatever, and then I refreshed my Twitter and it says the NBA has been suspended, and I was just kind of numb on the couch, like, wait, what? What just happened? And then, here we are. It's like, I don't know how long it's been since that day, but, just it's very unfortunate. I guess there's not many people that are profiting off of, these times. It's just, you can just add it to the list of, someone that's been, affected by this. So it's been tough. I'm hoping that we can, as a country, figure it out and get sports back, but it doesn't. It seems grim right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, you've had a couple of more than a few 10-day stints with Memphis and gotten called up. What's the big difference? I mean, obviously it's the talent level, but what's the difference that you need to develop in your game to be able to make a roster and stay in the NBA? What are you working on to achieve your goal?
Just the same things, everything. You can always become a better shooter. Just keeping my playmaking to, just keep it improving, keeping my defense get better. Everything's gotten better. It's just as far as you need one person to believe in you. So, I feel ready right now for, I feel ready. Like off the bench, I think I can provide scoring that, 98% of off the bench guys can't provide you. So, just staying ready, and this year was that those 10 days were gonna really help me with this new team, but I might have to go overseas. It's just the journey still goes, so I'm gonna keep attacking it.
Talking with Dusty Hannis here on the Morning Rush. Dusty, what's it like to watch Ja Morant play basketball up and close?
Oh man, he's just so gifted. He plays the game with such a smooth style, but like it's also mixed with just supreme athleticism. Like, just like his knees don't bend, his toes, if he lifts his toes, he's flying. So, to see that up close, it's pretty crazy to see when someone jumps that high.
Dusty, I got a text in here, and I don't know if you can say this on the air because we got a couple FCC violations, but this comes from 479. What did you say to Ben Simmons back in 2016 in Bud Walton Arena?
Well, man, he kept like bumping me during the game. So like we weren't talking. I only really talk if a guy starts jabbering. Then it's like it's on. I'll talk all day. And he kept I kept walking into, like to set up the play, like go to my spot, and he would just like put a shoulder in my chest, like it wouldn't move out of the way. It just like bumped me, and after like the third time, I realized, oh, he's doing this on purpose. So we get to the free throw line, and I just took it upon myself to start talking trash. And I think because he's from Australia, I remember being like, "You want to put some shrimp on the bobby, mate?" And then like some choice words after that. But I guess I can't really say all the words I said. But yeah, that was like the premise of the of what I said.
Dusty, I don't think I've heard. Have you publicly shared that story? I'm sure you might have been asked about it once or twice. I don't think I've ever heard you actually share the story of what you said to Ben Simmons back in the day.
I don't think I have.
Dusty, I want to go back to another memory against North Carolina 2017. I know that you retweeted my tweet. I was so angry watching that game. You were a senior, a redshirt senior. I was a senior, about to go on my spring break trip, and we're watching this game. And at the end, there was a couple calls that go against you guys. Do you still go back and think what would have been? Because that team went on to win the national championship that year.
Yeah. I mean, just a very tough night, you know. It's like even, you know, months after that, like the whole first year from that game was, you know, tough. Like even the summer when I moved back to Little Rock to start trying to get ready for whatever was next, like every time I kind of tried to not think of the game because it was a bad thought. I didn't like the feeling, you know, the feelings that thought gave me. So I tried to like block it out. But the more, once I was able to reflect, I mean, I still haven't watched the game and don't really plan on it. But I just remember being so hurt. Like I remember the calls and just how the game felt. It was like we had it, and then once the Joel Berry charge play happened, I remember we ran down and missed the three, and it was like, wow, like did we just lose? And then they go on to win the Natty. So I just felt like we could have been a better seed that year too. I think when South Carolina went to the Final Four that year, got that 7th seed, I thought that should have been us, and they should have been the 8th seed. But you know, you live and you learn. Hopefully that was, you know, helps, you know, build the foundation for Arkansas, and we can start turning this thing into a monster again.
Yeah, they always say the pain of the losses stick with you a lot more than the joy of the victories. Is that the game that sticks with you the most? That's the biggest thorn in your side, or is that not true with you? Is the winning, you know, the top memories?
You know, it's tough to say. I guess that, I mean, that one hurts more than the wins, you know, felt good, but that's not to say the wins didn't feel awesome. You know, when we finished out that home stretch of the season, and, you know, I don't remember what our record was down the finish line. I think we were like 10-1 up until the SEC championship, but you know, that stuff feels good. But yeah, definitely a huge thorn in my side was that North Carolina game. I used to hate thinking about it. I mean, still do.
Yeah. I want to ask you, you transferred from Texas Tech, came to Arkansas. Everybody knows that story, but now transfers are so commonplace in college basketball, and they're looking at reviewing the transfer rules and giving everyone kind of a one-time golden ticket to move schools. What are your thoughts on transfers and the transfer portal and the status of that in college basketball, knowing that you lived through it? I think you're a great person to ask.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes just stuff happens that affects your career, you know. So when a coach switches, yes, you committed to a university, but obviously as a student athlete, like your primary reason to go into a school most of the time is for the coach, you know. So once you lose the coach, that's when you see most people start looking at transfer, and that's what happened with me. You know, I lost Billy Gillespie. He was fired before I ever played a game for him. I played my freshman year for one of our assistants, and my sophomore year was with Tubby Smith. And then, you know, that I knew that whole year that I was leaving. It didn't feel right. So, I mean, the fact that they're making it where isn't it now where you don't have to sit out? Like, aren't they? Isn't it just free?
Yeah,
reign?
That's what they're talking about.
Voting on it next
They're voting
month.
on it soon to give you basically a free pass if you will one time.
Yeah, and I feel like they're going to pass that with with the stigma, the NCAA starting to, you know, really get hit hard with that G League thing and stuff. Like, people are starting to realize it's, you know, a little unfair, I guess. So, I mean, I feel like that's going to get passed, and when that happens, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of iffy. I don't agree with, you know, guys getting to just transfer if they, you know, they don't like it. You know, I think there needs to be a reason. Like, either your coach gets fired, maybe like someone's sick back home. Like, I think there needs to be a reason, because if not, I think it's going to, turn into the Wild West. Everyone's just going to be leaving after every season. It'll be kind of weird.
Dusty, let me top off the interview with this, man. You and Daryl had a friendly rivalry while in school together. I know there was always joking back and forth. I'm the better shooter. I'm the better shooter. I'll let you settle this once and for all. Who's the better three-point shooter, you or Daryl Macon?
I mean, y'all decide that, man. I'm not going to comment on it.
Dusty Hannis, former Arkansas Razorback, currently with the Memphis Hustle in the G League this year. Dusty, best of luck to you this year, man. Hopefully we'll get some NBA back, and thanks again for making some time for us.
Yep. Hopefully so, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
I enjoy watching you. Thanks for your time.
That Ben Simmons story was fantastic.
Yeah.
I honestly I think he was asked about that after the game, and I think he was like, I don't think he told reporters. That's the first time I think he's spoken publicly about that. That was fantastic. You'll probably hear that on the airwaves once or twice here on ESPN Arkansas.
We'll have the Dusty Hannis interview up for you on hitthatline.com, and it'll be in our podcast today. So if you didn't catch the whole thing, don't worry. You can hear it all again coming up soon in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast and, of course, at hitthatline.com. We're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Vacation in your own backyard this summer. Your summer plans have likely changed. Why not make your backyard the place you vacation for years to come? You can do it every day. Above-ground pool packages up to $700 off from Doughboy. Hot Springs hot tubs up to $3,300 off with instant rebates. And endless pool fitness systems up to $10,000 off right now. Take virtual tours online at burtonpools.com. Find them on Facebook as well. You can even do a video chat with one of their sales professionals there to make it safe and easy for you to shop from the comfort of your home or your office. And, of course, just pick up the phone and call. They'll answer all of the questions and make it easy and safe and comfortable for you during this shopping experience. That's Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
I think back to that North Carolina game where Arkansas at one point was up 5. They were about to be up 7. It looked like Anton got a clean strip. There was a foul call. You have the out-of-bounds call where it looked like it was last touched by the Tar Heels. It was given to North Carolina. And then the no call when it comes to Joel Berry, not getting a call either for or against him. And then I think it was Kennedy Meeks that put it up and in. That was one of the more irritating and painful, and you could tell that Dusty and other probably players have still not necessarily let that one go. That still sticks in my. You asked if it stuck in someone's craw. It still sticks in my craw.
You were that close to beating the number 1 team in the country and the eventual national champion. I can see where, Dusty said he hasn't even watched the game again. Too painful. We heard that from Frank Broyles over the years. He wouldn't watch the 69. You never watched it again. Never went back and reviewed it. These painful memories, and you think about particularly ones that end the year, the last one, it's just hard to go back and digest that again.
I always find that interesting because as an athlete or a coach, when you're either coaching or playing the game, you don't really listen to the call. You don't really listen to the broadcasters, whether it's your guys or the national guys. But I always find it curious to the players and the coaches, obviously coaches for film, but how many times you go back and watch something? Are you watching it 100 times, or do you watch it all? Do you watch it once and say, I'm done? That's always something that I find very interesting.
For coaches, it's just part of the routine.
It's just film, man. 877-377-6963. How good is this signing class with the transfers? We'll hit on that next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I'm sure glad that y'all are still able to go to your jobs and help and give us something to do besides talk about the bad stuff.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Are your appliances struggling? Do you need that part and not sure where to go? Mid-South Distributing has you covered with 9 locations in the Arkansas area. Appliance parts and accessories for all major brands of appliance. Mid-South Distributing has you, the customer, in mind when you're needing that part for your appliance. Mid-South Distributing. Check out midsouthparts.com to find your location near you. Mid-South Distributing. We're in your neighborhood.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get back out on the road. Time for windows rolled down and radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. They also offer oil changes, tire alignments, and much more. Trust Southern Tire Mart for your last-minute getaways, open-road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you're free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. They'll keep you rolling.
Need to see a doctor but you're concerned about going? River Valley Primary Care is now seeing patients at all 10 clinics by video and phone visits. See a doctor today who can diagnose your condition and prescribe medication if needed. These visits are now covered by most insurance plans. River Valley Primary Care in Ratcliffe, Mountainburg, Mulberry, Clarksville, Lavaca, Lamar, Waldron, and 3 locations in Fort Smith. Call 479-431-2050 or go online to rvpcs.org. See a doctor today by video or phone with River Valley Primary Care.
The Golf Nut is open and the simulators are available. Call to book a tee time to practice or play on one of 100 courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. All that is asked of you is you use CDC guidelines for social distancing. The Golf Nut offers curbside pickup and you can pay using a credit card, Venmo, PayPal, or Apple Pay. One of the few things that is still available to do is play golf, and the Golf Nut is open and ready with the best selection of name brand clubs and apparel. The Golf Nut, your #1 golf shop since 1994. Oh, wow!
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time. 0% for 84 months and no payments for 120 days at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. During these unprecedented times, Harry Robinson is making it easier for you to buy. Get 0% for 84 months and deferred payments on all 2019 Buick and GMC models and 2020 Buick Encores and Visions, GMC Acadias, Terrains, and Sierras. Find out more at harryrobinson.com. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You're not really that stupid, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
No,
My best advice to you?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's very polite of you.
Get some facts and come back and see me.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Talk about this Arkansas basketball recruiting class that has so many people excited. Before we do that, Tommy, my stomach's a rumbling.
How about some kicking chicken from Arts?
I had that on Saturday. It was fantastic.
I tell you, the salads are where I need to probably be focusing on the menu. They got great salads. They make their own ranch there, so their ranch dressing is phenomenal. But their chef salad's really good. They can take any of their smoked meats and put on a salad. The cheeseburger salad is really good. They put pickle. Of course, take a hamburger patty, chop it up, put it on top of salad, pickles, the onions, all of it. And if you use the Thousand Island dressing, it kind of tastes like a Big Mac without any of the bread. So it's a good, healthier option to go with.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you're
Yeah.
pretty you're skimpy on the Thousand.
Yeah,
Island
I mean,
you
just
dump
barely
all over.
dip the fork in there. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So if you're looking for salads, you're looking for maybe some healthier options, they have those at Arts Barbecue. Daily specials you want to check out every day on their Facebook page. They're open Tuesday through Saturday right now, 11 to 2 for lunch, 4 to 8 for dinner. During all this stuff going on. They got a drive-up window, which makes it easy. They'll bring it out to the car. You can even get a cold one brought to you right now to go. So, I mean, even while you wait, they'll bring you one. So that makes it easy.
I'm sober during the week, but for those listeners, or for 99% of our listeners that do not abide by that rule, you can take advantage of it.
What he's saying, folks, is one beer gets him drunk. Or use the Waiter app to have it brought to you. That's Arts Barbecue, 452-2550, or on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
That's why we sold Jenkins on it coming to work for us. He wasn't convinced, and then we took him to Arts after, and he was like,
that was the closer.
That's what did it.
That's the closer.
Those burn-ins took care of business.
That's how John sold me to get the job, how we sold Jenkins, and it's just
our secret weapon.
I think that's how we sold Matty T as well. So we just we've done it across the board. This Arkansas basketball recruiting class is 6th nationally on ESPN, 6th nationally on 24/7 Sports, and 9th nationally on Rivals. 3rd in the SEC on ESPN, 4th on both 24/7 and Rivals. This is one of the best recruiting classes in the history of the Razorback basketball program, and especially as of late. And we need to mention, that only factors in the guys you're bringing in as freshmen. Moses Moody, KK Robinson, Devontae Davis, Jalen Williams. It does not factor in Jalen Tate and Vance Jackson. Those guys are pretty actually highly coveted. According to Stadium, where Jeff Goodman is the head college basketball guy, Jalen Tate was the 10th highest grad transfer, and Vance Jackson was the 18th highest grad transfer. I mean, these are guys that were wanted across the board in college basketball, and Eric Musselman was able to get them on top of the already great recruiting class he had coming in.
Vance Jackson is 10 points away from a career 1,000. He's got 990 in 2 years at New Mexico and 1 year at UConn. So this is a guy that's done some scoring in 3 seasons. So he's going to eclipse early on, probably in November, everything holds to schedule, 1,000 career points.
And you think about J.D. Notte, Connor Vanover, Baby, the guys that are going to be eligible this season, which people are really excited about. It looks like that this is going to be a fun basketball team to watch next year. Unless something just terrible happens in the next couple months, this is going to be a fun basketball team to watch.
That's not part of your recruiting, but you got to kind of consider the transfer year / redshirt guys that set last year as part of your incoming class to a degree, your effective incoming class.
Exactly. And how you can relate this is close to home. Look at the football team. You had A.J. Reed, Jacobs, cornerback out of Arkansas State, Xavier Kelly, Levi Draper, and Felipe Franks. Mm-hmm. Those graduate transfers are not a part of the 29th best recruiting class in college football. They're an addition to. So that being said, while Arkansas is ranked as a top 30 recruiting class, which you got to give Sam Pittman and his staff credit for how they were able to get that going, then you think about the grad transfer ad, and some were saying this was the best grad transfer addition in all of college football. I don't know if you can necessarily say that about the basketball team, that Vance Jackson and Jalen Tate were the best grad transfer class in all of the land, but with the addition of the guys they already have in, the guys that they're adding as freshmen, this is going to be a really good recruiting class, and you got to be excited about what's going to happen with it.
So did this class end up ranked 8th? I know we talked about this a couple of days ago, and it had 5 of the top 8 classes in the country were in the SEC, and Arkansas was 8th on there. It was 5 of the top 10.
Mike Kaywood, head SID of Arkansas basketball, sent this list yesterday that ESPN had them at 6th nationally. 24/7 also had them at 6th, and then 9th nationally as well on Rivals. So, I mean, this is a pretty good list to be a part of when you look at when it comes to I think that's referring to. I think that's just the. That's the overall recruiting.
Rankings.
That's the class ranking. So that's a pretty good, I mean, to be a part of, but kind of like in SEC baseball and SEC football, you're still down the list, even though as talented as a class you get that. But it doesn't matter. Like, you can think about, this doesn't really happen that often, but just because like you have classes above like Kentucky, Tennessee, and LSU doesn't mean you can't beat them on the floor based on what you have coming in and coming back.
ESPN does transfer rankings, and Jalen Tate, as you mentioned, 15th. Vance Jackson, 32nd. JT Note, 29th as a sit-out transfer, and Connor Vanover, 44th on this list. So, all in all, I don't know how you couldn't be happy with a class that's as low as 9th and as high as 6th in all the rankings. But again, like you said, 3rd or 4th in the SEC, depending on who you're looking at.
David said we need to give Desi some love. Desi was unbelievable when he started coming off the bench, and I'm really curious to how Eric Musselman and his staff orchestrate the starting lineup in the rotation this upcoming year. And I think we have a long way off till we see what that happens, because we haven't seen or heard anything out of practice. They haven't gotten kind of acclimated to the system. It's going to be really fun to watch, though, regardless.
But of these inbound high school players, 1, maybe 2 are going to have to redshirt just to kind of keep things along the lines of the way he likes them. You brought the question up to Coach Muss when he called in last week. I'll find the roster construction and how they manage it very interesting to watch.
I would be shocked if they had 2 high school guys transfer. That's just me, but who knows?
Red shirt or transfer? Red shirt.
Red shirt.
Yeah.
Did I say transfer?
Yeah, you said
Sorry.
transfer.
Would you rather Tuesday coming up?
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I love listening to y'all. You're a really intelligent group of sports broadcasters.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
What's your more? Maybe it's more early morning duck calls at your own private duck club. Whatever you'd like more of, Mega Millions from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery can turn those dreams into reality. And the next drawing is for more than $50 million. So go to your local lottery retailer and get your ticket to more today. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Folks, we at Mosquito Joe understand how important your yard is. It's where some of your best memories are made with your family. It's where you play catch with your kids or grandkids. It's where you have your friends over for those backyard barbecues. You don't have to keep letting mosquitoes crash the party. There's a solution for that now. Mosquito Joe protects your yard so you can focus on what's important. Call Mosquito Joe today. Get your first service for just $39. 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where we deliver. We'll deliver a vehicle to you for a test drive. We can do your entire deal online and deliver your new car right to your home. We even do pickup and delivery for service. We do all that, and it's terrific. But we know you need a great deal too, now more than ever. That's why we're matching the government stimulus checks with $1,200 in Rath Auto Relief. Use it as a discount on one of our Rath Road Ready used cars. Use it to help pay off your trade. Use it to pay your sales tax. That's right, $1,200 to help you get into a nicer, newer car today. Or let us take care of the car you have in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and 6 months no interest on the Meineke credit card. You have enough on your mind without worrying about where or how to buy your next car or take care of the car you have. Let your friends at Rath Auto Resources help. You can count on us to deliver. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Towson and Phoenix, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Bush Machine and Tractor at 7301 0 Street in Fort Smith is your one-stop shop for tractors, lawnmowers, and implements. Choose from Massey Ferguson, Branson, and TYM tractors. Implements from Woods, Battle Armor, and Modern Ag. Find a Gravely commercial mower and get the job done mile after mile and season after season. Bush Machine and Tractor is your #1 Branson dealer in Arkansas and works on all brands of tractors and mowers. Come see us or check out all our inventory at bushtractor.com.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Protect tender spring plants with Green Thumb Premium Color Mulch from Metters Lumber True Value. Right now, any 5 bags are just $15 while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value. The 2 cubic foot bags come in your choice of red, black, or brown. This attractive mulch acts as a natural weed barrier and helps retain moisture. Pick up this spring bargain of the month today while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value. 218 Commerce Drive in Alma. Family owned and serving you for more than 75 years. That's Metters Lumber True Value.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast, Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I don't think I have any brain damage, but that's yet to be seen. I probably wouldn't swing a golf club very well.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Got some Would You Rather Tuesday coming up on the Morning Rush. If you have a Would You Rather for me, Tommy, and Jenkins, send it in 877-377-6963. Before we do that, we wouldn't have a show today without Pinnacle Telecom.
No, they provide our high-speed internet here. We got fiber buried in the ground, comes out from out there wherever the stuff's at, near the curb. They buried it, comes all the way in the building, underground. And I'm going to tell you, whatever business you're running right now, particularly right now, having reliable internet service is more important now than ever before because, if you're a restaurant, you need that to get your online orders that are coming in, the phone calls coming in. You don't have a phone right now, you're out of business. I mean, a lot of businesses are finito without good phone service. So good phone, good internet right now more important than ever. If you're struggling with that, call our friends at Pinnacle Telecom. They do high-speed internet with fiber to the door for local businesses. They also do great phone systems, and they can help you with that, all voice over IP, all the latest features, all the call forwarding, all the voicemail, everything you can imagine is there. If you don't have gigabit fiber, call Pinnacle and let them tell you how you can have it in your business very, very soon. 479-242-0000. It's also a local company right here in Arkansas that's your actual name. And I got like the cell phone number of our rep. If we have a problem, we just call him directly. You don't get that with the big national companies. 479-242-0000.
It's our buddy Drake Smith over there. Have you ever played Washers with him. Do you know what washers is?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so I played that, and I am awful. Absolutely. Now, I'm good at cornhole. That's one thing that I can say. Like, I can actually hold my whole own in a game of cornhole and bago. And it's similar where those who don't know what washers is, it's a really fun game. I know a lot of you are trying to pass the time right now. Washers is a game where you have 2 different boards, 3 holes on each side, and you try and throw, not a horseshoe, but what would you call it? Like a little circular ring? I don't know.
Washer?
Is that actually what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you haven't put me nuts and bolts on.
My head hurts. That's your brain trying to comprehend its own stupidity.
Okay, that needed to go there since I didn't know what that actually was.
What you put ahead of when you're putting the nut and the bolt on, and you put the washer in to hold it.
Really fun game. I think we should add that to our morning rush decathlon if you're okay with that. So, because I'm not any good, and I don't know. So,
and I've never done it, so I'll probably beat you.
All right, probably so. All right, let's get in some Would You Rather Tuesday.
The battle of wits has begun. It ends when you decide and we both drink.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
It's a tough choice. How can you know all that?
There's just so many options.
Hey, would you rather?
You set the tone last week.
He knocked
it out.
So there's a lot of pressure.
You're telling me.
A lot of pressure on you.
These better be good again.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I still got some good ones saved from last week. I think I got some good ones for you today. So we'll see.
If not, we'll get Rita or Betty or Lance or someone else.
You were on fire last week.
Yeah.
Would you rather have an exclusive interview with Mr. Rogers or Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live?
Like PBS, Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
In the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Who's Lorne Michaels?
Generational gap.
Oh, my God.
All right, never mind.
I'm going Mr. Like Tom
did you
Hanks,
watch
Mr. Rogers?
that guy or Saturday Night Live? So
I don't know who Lorne Michaels is.
I think I'll go Mr. Rogers.
I just feel like Mr. Rogers would be just so cool just to sit down with and talk to.
And that train.
And Lorne Michaels is
He'd
just
hit
cool.
that switch, that train.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Lorne Michaels would be cool, too, just for all the characters that he's created.
All the people and the celebrities he's been around, he'd have some stories.
You don't know who Lorne Michaels is?
Nope.
I figured you would have. Okay.
You're making me feel better by the day.
Well, I'm off to a great start. You put this one in. I wasn't sure what you meant. You said a sauce question.
Oh, okay. So I sent you this yesterday. Did you see what Barstool had? The
Yes.
9 sauces.
I went 169 on mine.
That's what I
Look at y'all.
Chick-fil-A sauce, spicy, or the ranch from
Black and Ranch from
Black
Popeyes.
and Ranch, and the
Good pick.
cane
pick,
sauce
Tommy.
is good. The Chick-fil-A sauce is what you got to have, though. That's
Literally
I
went
think
160.
everybody had number one in that.
I think that might be the first time we've agreed on something food related on this program.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at y'all.
So that was, and sorry, I didn't give you a lot of context.
No, you're good.
literally
I
just
saw
wrote-
it. I just left it for you.
I sent that to him, and I forgot to send it to you yesterday.
I can
So,
tell where I am on the pecking order.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather get burnt by Kevin Hart or be the subject of a Taylor Swift song?
Do I get any royalties off the song? Do I get a check from CSAC or
no, but
BMI or ASCAP?
You'll always be, because Taylor Swift is known just for breakup songs.
Yeah.
There's so many.
So you either
out
broke
there.
her heart.
I'll go with a Taylor Swift song.
I find Kevin Hart really funny, so I would actually, you know how they do those roasts on Comedy Central? I would actually enjoy to get him, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, and others to get up there and just roast me. I think that would be hilarious. So I'm gonna go Kevin Hart, but I'd be okay with a Taylor Swift because that means I would have dated Taylor Swift at one point in time. So I'm okay with that.
I'd go Kevin Hart, and I'll just go ahead and jump over to this one just because you
Was
mentioned
Carrie
it.
Underwood not an option? By the way, that was my follow-up question.
We'll do that next week. Would you rather, you mentioned Comedy Central roast, would you rather be the subject of a no-holds-barred Comedy Central roast or be a contestant on Fear Factor?
Roast,
because I can't. The fear of actually having to do something involving snakes, I'm out.
I'm 100%.
I'm
out.
running as fast as my short, fat legs can handle. I'm gone. So just roast away.
I'm going roast too. And you mentioned Carrie Underwood. I was so angry this past football season when they changed the NBC Sunday Night Football song. I look forward to what they had Sunday Night Football on ABC when they had it.
Who's playing? I don't know.
Game On or whatever. And now I'm just like, and they changed it. I was
Watch this intro
so
here.
frustrated.
Oh,
So
this is going to be a good one. This comes from Brandon in Paris. Would you rather have 5 more years of John L. Smith or Chad Morris?
John L. at least won a conference game.
he did, and he also he delivered a laugh at a press
In
conference.
fact, he didn't win just one; he won two. He beat Auburn and Kentucky.
Yeah, those two
In
that
fact,
year.
Kentucky just quit. They didn't want any more after halftime. Forget all that rain. But, yeah, I'm going to go John L. At least his press conferences and the one-liners would be more entertaining.
I'm also going to go John L.
Good pick.
John L. Smith, baby.
Ty, this one's for you. This comes from B. in Clarksville. He says, would you rather, for 1 year, watch Madison on any reality TV show or attend live sporting events?
Live sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
I love Madison, but I'm doing sports.
You love sports more?
I think 25 years I've shown that I care more about sports than women, so I'm going live sporting events.
He is single, ladies.
It would hurt tremendously to have to be presented with that but yeah, I'm going sports.
Would you rather would you rather guard Larry Bird or Magic Johnson?
Well, both those guys are putting me in a blender.
In their
they're
prime.
6'8", 6'9", and Magic, they both have great arsenals. Magic's got the hook shot. Bird's just got a ton of good moves. And I you know what? I'll say Bird because I want to heir some of the stuff that he used to say to players.
You were reading my mind. Bird, number one, was my hero as a kid. Loved watching the three-point contest when they do when the dunk and three-point contests were good, when you had Jordan and Bird, late 80s, early. That's when it was awesome. But I'm with you. I would want to guard Bird just to see what I could get him to say.
Which one he finishing second. That's still one of the best stories that I've ever heard involving Larry Bird.
Would you rather win the home run derby or win the slam dunk? You guys are reading my mind. Would you rather win the home run derby or win the slam dunk contest?
Oh, that's easy. Home run derby because chicks dig the long ball. So home run derby.
I wasn't expecting. All right,
I'm going slam dunk contest. I mean, you think about the icons, whether it's Dominique Wilkins, you mentioned Michael Jordan. I mean, Vince Carter. Those are some of the most memorable moments in sports history. I'm going the dunk contest. Unfortunately, I've never been able to dunk. You probably looked at me and said, "This guy used to be able to dunk back in high school." No. I stood out on the 3-point line.
Can you imagine the picture of like him dunking from the free throw line and his blonde locks just
blowing
through the wind,
glistening in the air? It's kind of like the Space Jam moment where Michael's stretching out his arm, and it would be the similar, just my hair flowing in the wind.
Yeah, I remember having a poster as a kid of Jordan at dunk where he took off 3-point line.
That's hanging outside my room.
Iconic.
Oh, my gosh.
Iconic.
Yeah. I got 2 Jordan posters. That one and then the shot over Georgetown in 82.
We'll kind of keep along the same line. This kind of came from Phil from what we were talking about yesterday with greatest games we've ever attended. Would you rather attend the MLB All-Star Game or the NBA All-Star Game?
Both games would have been a lot more fun 20 or so years ago because of how the competitive nature has just gone down tremendously. Now, I'll say they do pick it up in the fourth quarter in the NBA All-Star Game, but if I could go to like a mid-90s or a mid-80s All-Star Game basketball-wise, I'm taking that every single time.
I've been told we'll just call it the atmosphere and the days leading up to an NBA All-Star Game, that the money in some of the markets around town is flowing. Let's put it that way. That the amount of money that is left behind in a city following the NBA All-Star Game is monumental. So I think that the party would be at the NBA All-Star Game. Maybe not at the game, but leading up to the game.
Because you're a big partier nowadays at 44.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's happening before about 8:45 at night, I'm good. So.
If we do go to SEC Media Days, Tommy, you got to go karaoke with us one night.
Yeah, as long as before 8:45.
Okay.
Got a couple more we'll get through pretty quick. David in Fort Smith says, if we're picking teams for a game of backyard wiffle ball, would you rather have Barry Bonds or Mark McGwire?
Mark McGwire. Bash Brothers.
Probably Mark McGwire as well. So ask the one about the quarantine one. The me and you. That one's good.
All right, so I'll do the we got one for each of you. Tommy, this is just for you.
He speaks for 11, folks.
Yeah, you're telling me. Would you rather be quarantined with Ty or Jenkins? And this determines the future of the program.
If I'm quarantined with Ty, we're going to have all those clean eating, prefabricated box meals.
Just during the week, though.
If I'm with Jenkins, there's going to be ribs and pork loin and baked beans.
And cold beer during the week.
Jenkins, you're the man.
My man.
That's hurtful.
Right.
Well.
Ty.
I'm not fun during the week. I'm
if
too
you're with Ty, you're going to run out of hair product real quick.
Oh, wow.
I just wet my hair in the morning. I don't even throw anything in it.
Ty, would you rather be quarantined with Tommy and have endless White Claws, or be quarantined with Madison and have endless pizza.
Again, I don't buy the White Claws, but
I love you and I love White Claws, but I think I'm going Madison pizza.
Yeah, well, that's a good choice.
So
if you'd have chose me and White Claws, I'd have had you examined.
Miss Laura would have looked at me a little funny next time
what's
I see
wrong with
her.
this guy?
Yeah, no, I'm going pizza in Madison, even though that's never going to happen, unfortunately. I just want to meet her, just say hi, get something words. You know what? It's weird. You'd think that a guy that talks for a living to thousands of people every single day, he'd be able to talk to a cute girl a little easier, but
over
it's weird how that
under
doesn't hurt.
over under Jenkins on the number of words he would actually get out of his mouth if he had a brush encounter with Madison Pruitt.
I'll give him 10.
I under way
You take
under,
the under?
way under.
So like he would just say hi and that's it?
It's not an actual word.
So you remember Kaylee Hartung of the SEC Network?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely stunningly beautiful. Slow. I met her sophomore, junior, and senior year, and I got better every single year.
What?
So that's how we'll end the show.
Up to 11 words.
For Matt Jenkins and Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. Do better talking to the girls than I do. We'll talk tomorrow.
Backyard vacations. That's what Burton Pools and Spas is all about. Right now, save on all your backyard